1-0. Swing, and this one sent in the air, deep out to left field. Kennelly spinning around, looking up, it's out of here. All of a sudden found himself in a tie game, not anymore. Glendenning to deep left field, see you later.
Game 3 between the Melbourne Aces and the Perth Heat tonight. This is the Brick Lane pregame show. I'm Ed White. Alongside me, the voice of the Melbourne Aces, Max Tanzer. And Max, I'm not sure I have the words to explain what's happened in the first 2 games here.
It's not in the dictionary, I'll tell you that. What a couple of days offensively it's been for the Aces. A combined 21 runs, 31 hits, and 8 homers over the first 2 contests of this series. Not to even mention, too, that Perth drove in 8 in a couple of long balls yesterday as well.
Yeah, absolutely right. And it was also a historic night for Daryl George. He'd been sitting on 39 home runs since last year. 40 would put him ahead of Brad Harmon to give him the Aces all-time record. He did it last night. You got to call it. What a moment for him. Takes the pressure off.
Oh, it indeed was. What a special moment for the most legendary Melbourne Ace of all time. It was a really special moment earlier today as well, as former Aces player and current general manager Justin Huber was able to deliver the 40th homer ball to Daryl George, as well as the 20-game hit streak ball to Aaron Whitefield, the franchise record for the longest streak in Aces history. It was a special moment. Let's take a look to that presentation earlier today. All right, you're the 3rd player in ABL history with a hit streak over 20 games. What does that achievement mean to you?
It's just me trying to do my job, get on base for the guys behind me, and help the team win. So, got the award from it, but for me, it's just trying to get on, steal some bases, and score some runs for the team.
And you did so between an off season as well. Coming into the year, did you know? Were you aware of the hit streak? Were you thinking about it?
I think just when I was coming back, it got brought up again too. But at the same time, I think everyone's trying to get a hit each game, so the old mindset doesn't change. But got some lucky ones later on too. But I was just happy to do my job, and 20 games was pretty cool.
Talking about going into the record books, you're one of the most achieved Australian baseball players in this league. What does it mean to you to be ingrained in Australian Baseball League history forever?
I've always loved the league, always loved coming back and playing. So to have my name there, and to be up there with some of some awesome guys who have had some great careers is just awesome to be a part of.
History for Daryl George. A resume decorated as ever. Checks another box. He's the all-time Aces home run king.
We've been waiting for it, and it finally comes.
Daryl, 40 career home runs. You're the all-time Melbourne Aces king. You passed your former teammate Brad Harmon as well. What does this moment mean for you?
It's cool, man. It's an achievement that I didn't really put too much focus on, but looking back, it's been a pretty cool journey.
And you grew up in Melbourne, 15 minutes away from this ballpark. How cool is it for you to do this for your hometown team?
It's awesome. I used to come to the old ABL games when the Melbourne Monarchs used to play here, so it's kind of pretty surreal to be out here playing, so just enjoy it and take it day by day.
And similar to Aaron, this was a record that was developing over the off-season. You saved it for home in front of the home crowd here at Melbourne Ballpark. How special was that for you when you saw that graphic on the screen?
Yeah, it was really cool. I actually forgot about it. But yeah, it's it's just a really surreal experience, and just been having fun playing every day. So it's cool. It's just all part of it.
Once again, a big congratulations to both Daryl George, the all-time Melbourne Aces home run leader, and Aaron Whitefield, the record holder for the longest hit streak in franchise history. On the mound tonight for the Aces as they look for their 3rd straight win in a row is right-hander Taito Takashima, the Oryx Buffalo, making his 4th start. While he did get roughed up a little bit last weekend in Sydney, it was really defined by a couple of pitches. Aside from that, he's going to look for a stronger outing tonight.
Well, he's going to have to deal with this swirling wind, as will all of the players tonight. We're not sure what's going to happen. I suspect there may be a couple of home runs. I'm not going to predict it, but the way things have gone, and with this win tonight, I think we could see a little bit more excitement.
It's been a chaotic series. We're expecting plenty more of that here tonight. Game 3 of 4 between the Perth Heat and Melbourne Aces starts right after this. Back at the track, kiss it goodbye.
Hit hard by George, deep center field. Back goes Robson, that's out of here. Daryl George over the center field wall.
3rd base side, charging his spears, bare hand throw. What a hit by Kislov.
it back at the track. It is gone!
Oh!
History for Greg Bird. His third homer of the night. Here's the 1-2 again. Swing, and this one's belted way back in the left field. There's no question. Way back, way out of here for Arturo Disla. His first homer is an 8. Melbourne night after the Aces picked up an exhilarating 11-8 win in Game 2 of this 4-game set. We got Game 3 as we bring you Saturday night baseball action, and as you can see, the crowds are packed here at Melbourne Ballpark. The sun is shining bright. Max Tanter here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. The Aces back to the 500 mark at 6-6. The Heat down to 7-7. Both of them essentially tied for third place in the ABL standings, but still early on, there's still a very good Perth team. And Ed, I mean, you mentioned it in the pregame show. There's not a word to describe yesterday. I'm not over it. I'm still feeling the energy.
Yesterday, 11-8. Game 1, 10-2. We've seen a lot of hitting. We also have seen some good pitching. You look at those scores and you think, oh, it's just pure hitting. There's been some amazing pitching. It's just been the spots and the long ball that has really done it. But this has been, you're getting your money's worth if you're a fan of the Melbourne Aces.
You are. The ball has been absolutely flying out of this ballpark, which is not the usual scouting report here in Melbourne. Generally, the wind is gusting in, and even though we have small dimensions here, it's hard to get the ball to carry. Well, the wind is swirling here today. We're not quite sure which direction it's blowing as you take a look at our weather report brought to you by Vibrant Services. 23 degrees Celsius, winds at 18 kilometers per hour. The sun shining very brightly like a spotlight down here on the diamond. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight. First for the Melbourne Aces, announced as always by manager John Diebel. We spoke to him in pregame. Aaron Whitefield will lead things off in center field. He scored 4 runs yesterday. Right behind him, Jared Dale, who pushed out his first homer of the season. He bats second at short. Robbie Glendinning, he left the yard as well. Will bat third in right field. This will be game number 9 for him. Greg Bird and his 5 home runs cleans up in the DH spot. You know it's better than 5, Ed? 6. That's how many homers Arturo Disla has this year. He leads the ABL league. He'll play first base. Daryl George, after the record-breaking home run yesterday, bats 6th at third. And Tonis Macias, fresh off of his first pro homer, bats 7th at second. Mitchell Edwards, the switch-hitting catcher, will bat 8th. And Jared Belbin, after a pitch hit, base hit, and scoring the go-ahead run on a wild pitch yesterday, rounds out the 9 and left. On the bump, the Oryx Buffalo, Kaito Takashima. The right-hander makes his 4th start of the year, first at home since round 1. I look at John Diebel, the manager for the Aces, and Andy Kyle on the other side for the Perth Heat.
Good to see Jared Belbin get a start. I think that that hit of his last night was overlooked probably in the madness of everything that happened. That was a big, big hit for him, especially he had pinch hit the day before and did not get a hit. So to come out and do that, I think was really, really important, as you mentioned, scoring that go-ahead run as well.
Now let's introduce you to the Perth Heat lineup. Again, second in the league in homers now, just behind the Aces. As Fumiya Kirokawa will lead things off. He drove in 3 runs yesterday. Mr. ABL leading the league in almost every category, bats second in the DH spot. John Diaz, the Rays prospect, will bat third at center. Alex Saul homered yesterday, cleaned things up behind the plate. Ulrich Boyorski, he's been the star of this series on the Perth side, bats 5th in right field. Angel Mateo will bat 6th in left after the day off last night. Anderson Delgado, we saw him behind the plate yesterday. He'll man first base batting 7th. Carlos Colmenares, the shortstop, will hit 8th. And Jess Williams rounds out the 9 at second base. On the bump for the Heat, Young Woo Shin, a product of the NC Dinos in the KBO. He has been arguably the best pitcher in the ABL this season. 14 innings of work over 3 starts. He is not allowed a run. Opponents are hitting .070 against him, Ed.
4th selection in the 2023 KBO draft, so you know he is highly regarded. Appeared in 4 KBO games in May. The rest of the time in the minors, the NC Dinos minor league club. But no doubt he is in good form and will
Be a tough nut for the Aces batters to crack, you would suspect. On the other hand, the way the Aces have been hitting, you wouldn't bet against it, would you?
No, you would not. I mean, if you look at how much the numbers have catapulted after the last couple nights, it is absurd. Again, small sample size, so it's easy for these numbers to jump up dramatically. But if you go back to entering the series, the Aces were hitting 253 as a collective. They're now up to 281, jumping from 4th in the ABL to 2nd. And that's not even talking about the slugging. They've slugged out 8 homers in this series. 21 runs over the last 2 nights. You couldn't ask for more.
Some changes made by Andy Kyle for Perth Heat. Jake Bowie, who's had a rough series so far, 1 of 9. He's going to sit tonight. Delgado, who caught last night, will be at first. Mateo comes back in. He started the first game. He'll be in left field. Other than that, it's the same. Hall's back behind the plate. Williams at second. Colmenares at short. Kurikawa at third. Diaz and Boyarski join Mateo in the outfield.
A look at the ABL standings as we enter play tonight. Those Sydney Blue Sox, they are hotter than the sun right now. 9-3. They've won 5 in a row, followed by Canberra at 7-6. They're in second place. We have a 3-way tie between Adelaide, Perth, and Melbourne, who are all at 500. Adelaide and Perth get the edge, having played a couple extra games, 1 more win. Both of them 7-7. The Aces 6-6. And Brisbane, they snapped their 6-game losing streak today. Entered play this afternoon at 3-10, now 4-10 on the young season. Ed, it still feels like there's plenty of time left for the Aces. This is game number 12. But round 4, how many rounds we got? 10? It's coming up quick.
Yeah, it does, almost to the halfway point. But you're right, all these teams bunched up together, which just means each win is incredibly important, right? If the Aces can somehow sweep this series from Perth, not only do they gain, they knock Perth back. That seems obvious, but in a small league, in a short season, it becomes really, really important.
In a league where the top 4 teams out of 6 make the playoffs, you're essentially controlling your destiny all night long, or every single game you're playing. Well, the Aces getting ready to take the field here on a gorgeous night here in Melbourne. The kiddos out hanging in the sunshine. Look at the shades. You need them on a bright night like this, especially after yesterday where we had a little bit of a 15-minute weather delay, cloudy skies. It is absolute perfection here on this Australian night. Aces starting to take the field here. Let's introduce you to the umpires for this evening's ball game. A pretty fun story we got brewing here. Calling balls and strikes, Takuya Mizuguchi, Casey Cook over at first, Taro Murayama at second, and Taylor Field, a local product, will be umpiring his first ever Australian Baseball League game tonight at third base.
No pressure at all. Now, does this mean our friend Jeff Dunn maybe took the night off? Yeah, I know. We need to get an answer on that. Jeff, if you're listening, send us a message. Let us know. I'm sure you're okay. You're a tough guy.
He is. Former player.
Maybe just needed a night off.
I didn't even process it until I started reading the umpire crew for today. But if you didn't tune in yesterday, you can find some clips of it on our social media. Aaron Whitefield was racing around third, scoring the tying run of the game to make it 8-8 on a Glendenning RBI single. And as he was crossing the plate, Jeff Dunn, the home plate umpire, was right in the lane of Whitefield, and unfortunately the two of them collided. It was a pretty nasty collision at first, but thank goodness, at least at the time, both of them were okay. We're hoping that Jeff is still okay and just maybe getting a little breather here this evening.
Just to point out how bizarre this series has been, you've got that. You've got Macias getting robbed, then hitting the home run, the great scenes in the dugout after that. Darryl George breaking the record, the water bottle getting dented with that incredible shot. You had pass ball or a wild pitch that ends up on top of the net that gives first base after a strikeout. They're just
scores the tying run, too.
Scores the tying run. So many crazy wild pitches last night that essentially gave the Aces the win. So just a crazy, crazy series.
I won baseball bingo 7 times. There were so many chaotic moments last night. Well, Taito Takashima, you got to look at him on your screen throwing his warm-up tosses. This will be his first start on the Melbourne Ballpark mound since the 11th, make that the 17th of November against Canberra. His last outing was at Sydney. 4 innings of work. It was basically a start, but it'll go in the stat sheet as a relief appearance. Remember, on Friday, they started Game 1. Shamwar Armando tossed an inning. Then it was suspended throughout the entirety of the night. And when they resumed in the second on Saturday, Takashima was the one who I guess technically you can call it bulk relief, but did go 4 innings, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, a couple of strikeouts. And that line, while it doesn't jump off the page initially, he was still very good, provided the length they needed, got them through into the 5th inning. It was just a couple of pitches, a couple of long balls that he surrendered that really allowed Sydney to jump away in that one.
Game 2 yesterday, Perth used 5 pitchers. The Aces used 4, so both managers would be hoping that their starters, Takashima and Shin, go relatively deep tonight because you don't want to have to go to the bullpen too early tonight.
The Aces used a lot of their high-leverage guys last night as well. Perth on top of that. Well, we're about ready to press play on this one. Fumiya Kurokawa digs in from the left side. Taito Takashima fires. His first pitch is a fastball taken for a strike, and we are underway here in Melbourne at 7:03 local time. Aces in the heat, game 3 of this 4-game set. Here's the 0-1. Fades outside. Count evens up.
So we've got an Oryx Buffalo against a Rakuten Golden Eagle here from the Japanese league.
For all the NPB fans out there, this is your matchup as the next pitch fades outside, 2-1. Kurokawa was a big contributor yesterday for the Heat. 2 for 3, drove in 3 runs, including a double, hitting a couple ticks north of 300 entering play tonight. 2-1. Swinging a ground ball, stabbed by Takashima. Takes plenty of time and throws a dart over to first. 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah, it's a very nice play there. We'll get a look at that. Hit sharply back. Nice piece of fielding, and I think the Japanese pitchers and Korean pitchers tend to be pretty good fielders. I know they work at it. We were talking before the game about how their practice sessions, how intense and how dedicated and strict they are to their craft.
Here's Tim Kennelly now in the DH spot after a couple starts and left. First pitch is fouled straight back, 0-1. I was telling you about seeing Takashima go through his stretch routine yesterday. It was during batting practice, and I've never seen a human so mobile before. It was incredible. I always had heard about Ichiro Suzuki's stretch routine in the past, and seeing one firsthand a couple days ago was incredible. Count evens up at 1-1. He was essentially upside down, and he had his lower half flipped over. I can't even describe it. It was incredible. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 now. I didn't know the human body was capable of that. But you have to be flexible. Gets plenty of help with that, coming down the mound very aggressively.
It's a great Japanese baseball book called You've Got to Have WA, W-A. WA means team spirit in Japanese. Just the way they go about it. It's an older book now, but just how the American players came over and didn't quite adapt as well to the training methods.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Held on by the catcher and Edwards for strike 3. There's the splitter. 2 up, 2 down. First punch out for Takashima.
Brings up Diaz. He's had a pretty good series, Max. 3 for 9 and that home run. He's played well. Good fielder as well.
Really good fielder. Made a couple of nice plays ranging towards his right. Starting in center the last couple of nights. He's back there this evening as well. First pitch, pounded on the ground to short. Backhanding is Dale. Throw across his body. Picked by Disla. Another beauty. Dale with an athletic play to his right. Disla shows off the hands again. And Taito Takashima faces the minimum. A 1-2-3 top of the first. We get to the bottom half of the frame. Aces will swing the sticks for the first time tonight as we get another look at Disla showing off those hands.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Packed house here in Melbourne as you get a look at the first base grandstands. They're enjoying the shade as the sun is just starting to set. Still plenty of sunshine left here as we sit just a couple minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. It's the Aces in the Heat. Max Stanzer here joined alongside Ed White. A scoreless first inning for Taito Takashima. Took him just 9 pitches to set down the order 1-2-3.
About as quick as this Ramones song being played. I wonder if when they were back in the 70s, as one of the original punk bands, they knew their songs would be played and kids would be dancing to it at a baseball game.
I remember when that came out.
I wonder what they think about that.
I was negative 30 years old. Aaron Whitefield will lead things off against one of the rising stars in the Australian Baseball League, the KBO as well, the 4th overall pick by the NC Dinos. Young Wu Shin has not allowed a run through 14 innings so far this summer. First pitch to Whitefield. Out straight back, 0-1.
Well, let's put an end to that, shall we?
Why not? With the way the ball has been flying this series, it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask.
It has been so good. He's only allowed 3 hits in those 14 innings. Command has been a struggle at times. 8 free passes allowed. 0-1. Up and away. Count evens up. His last start against Adelaide, 5 innings, no hits.
Yeah, that's impressive. No doubt about it.
Handful of outings for him at the KBO Major League level this year. 1-1. Down low, 2-1. But spent most of the time in the minor leagues. Got tagged a tad, 11 runs and 9 2/3 at the top level.
Good news is you'll be able to follow these guys. The KBO's done a deal to put their games on an app for free. You can watch it anywhere, unlike the Japanese league, which is very hard to find.
It's perfect. 2-1. Down straight back, 2-2. There's been rumors, Rob Manfred saying maybe the MLB blackouts will come to an end. But we don't need to get into that conversation. 2-2 the count on Whitefield. He scored 4 of the 11 runs for the Aces yesterday. Was the table setter. Only picked up 1 hit, by the way. Here's the 2-2 again. Down and away, count full. Stole 2 bases, now 91 in his ABL career. That's the most of any ABL player all time. It's game number 9 for him. Payoff. Swinging a soft looper, shallow center. Diaz cutting across. It's in front of him and down for a leadoff base hit. Aaron Whitefield has done a phenomenal job at the top of the lineup for the Aces, and he comes through one more time.
Just torrid.
Don't have to square it up, just detonate it out to shallow right center field.
And you look at this lineup as you watch Whitefield drop that into right center. Whitefield, Dale, Glendenning, Bird, Diesla, George, even Macias. Edwards has been hot. I tell you what, it's quite a lineup.
You don't catch a break.
No, you don't.
First pitch to Dale, driven out in the air, right field. Boyorski cutting towards the line, reaches out, 1 away.
That's one I suspect may have carried yesterday and pushed the warning track. Here, I think the wind is going to hold them up to right field. Early observation, that's my gut feeling.
Hey, it could swirl too, it could change. It's just a matter of where the jet stream is. A lot of times at ballparks, you have just one area that has that jet stream. I feel like here in Melbourne, it switches every 30 minutes.
Just looking at the flags in left field, they're clearly blowing to the left. So I think you're going to be held up if you're going to right.
Glendenning takes a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Again, your dimensions, 300 feet down both lines and 370 feet to straightaway center. So it is a small ballpark, but hard to get it out on a night like this. Check to first. Whitefield back in safely. Glendenning had a good night yesterday. A homer drove in the game's tying run on Whitefield's collision with Jeff Dunn behind the plate. Now hitting .375 on his young season. Long hold from Shin. Whitefield back again.
Long hold is an understatement. It was a statue.
Messing with that timing. He knows that Whitefield is a prolific base stealer. Again, here in the Australian Baseball League, there is no limits on disengagements. There is no pitch clock, so Shin can take as long as he wants. He can step off and reset as much as he wants. Pitch, a check swing, and that got the bat of Glendenning. 0-1.
Yeah, a bit of bad luck there, to be honest.
Everybody clap your hands.
Infield shifted towards the pull side of Glendenning. Wide open right side of the infield. 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Greg Bird on deck. Then Arturo Diesla to follow. Just getting underway here in the bottom of the first inning. One, two. Down low, smothered by the catcher in Hall. Good stop. 2-2. And that played a role yesterday. There were a couple balls that got behind Ederson Delgado late in the game, bottom of the 8th inning. There were 3 wild pitches. 2 of them led to runs.
Crazy, just crazy.
And it's such a tricky spot because you don't want to blame the catcher too much when someone's spiking a ball in the dirt. Again, they're ruled wild pitches and not pass balls for a reason. But at the same time in that spot, you know that Delgado wants to knock those down. 2-2. Breaking ball, just a little bit upstairs. Full now 3-2.
Good eye from Robbie. Good at bat.
And the Aces, a team who have not walked a lot this year, have really worked the counts against these Perth pitchers.
Been very patient, haven't they?
There goes Whitefield. The 3-2 is driven high and deep down the left field line, and the wind will tug it foul.
And that's what I'm talking about. You get one up into the air in the left field. I think it will go. That one obviously was a little too far left, and as you said, the wind did take it.
Just a little bit out in front, but got a pitch up in the zone and kept his hands inside it. We'll see if Whitefield decides to take off again. 3-2 again. He goes. Pitch is a strike. Throw down to second from Hall. Not in time. Stolen base for Whitefield. That's his third. And Glendenning is called down looking. First strikeout of the night for Shin.
Stolen base, of course, brought to you by South Morang Motors.
To get another look, a good jump right here, but the throw from Hall was more towards his glove side, but Whitefield probably beats it out either way. So 2 down, good speed and scoring position for Greg Bird, who drove in 2 runs yesterday, which is a good night, but pretty quiet when you look at everyone else leaving the yard, especially for the standards of Bird so far this year.
That's very true.
First pitch from Shin is down and in, ball 1.
Yeah, I was recapping the stats yesterday, last night, or this morning in last night's game. We had gone along. Greg Bird, what? Yeah, okay, 2 for 5. That's it. No home run.
5 homers for Bird this year, tied for second in the ABL, just behind Diesla, who's on deck. 1-0. Check swing, and this one skips off the glove of Hall. And they're going to send Whitefield to third as the ball bounces out of play. So that will be a wild pitch. Whitefield now 90 feet away. I think that maybe got Hall in the shin guard right there.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Here we go. Look at it here. Yeah, tough bounce. Bird, what's going on?
1-1 the count, by the way.
It's a tough bounce.
So, sounds like they said he went around. Pitch. Foul straight back. 1-2 down.
Everybody clap your hands.
Bird 4 for 9, a homer and 4 runs batted in this series. That homer came on Thursday night, a Titanic blast into the parking lot in right field. Whitefield 90 feet away, the 1-2. Tapped foul, Bird stays alive.
Aces, of course, have scored runs in each of the first innings in the series. 3 in game 1, I think 1 yesterday. With a chance to do it here with Whitey on third and Greg Bird at the bat.
And the Aces score first, they're 6-2. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Off speed offering, fading arm side. Gets Bird to chase. A couple of strikeouts with the runner in scoring position for Young Woo Shin. So that first run that he will allow this year will not come in the first inning. Top of the second on its way. No score here in Melbourne. Christmas music blasting here on a beautiful night in Melbourne. Top of the second inning as Taito Takashima comes out for another frame. A breezy 9-pitch first inning for him as you get a look at the party deck. Beautiful night to be hanging out there. A little bit windy as well, but I think on a night that is as warm as this, the wind is actually kind of nice when you're watching the ball game.
Very nice. Good old Australian cricket top there. Very nice. Retro look. A lot of different looks. Yeah, San Jose Sharks hat. You come to the ballpark, you see so many different hats and shirts. White Sox.
Dodgers. Red Sox.
A lot of Dodgers. Is it a coincidence?
Well, John Diebel, manager for the Aces, a scout for the Dodgers. So maybe he's got some buddies in the crowd. Either way, those Dodgers have a lot of fans. Alex Hall will lead things off. Switch hitting catcher. First pitch is a splitter taken down low.
Hall, another one having a struggle here. 1 for 9, but he did have that home run yesterday.
Went back-to-back with John Diaz. That tied the game as this one skied. Shallow left center. Belbin cutting across. He'll make way to Whitefield. One away. All flies to center. That'll make way to Ulrich Boyorski. 4 up, 4 down for Taito Takashima. And I think if you're Takashima, just trying to settle in here early on still in his Australian Baseball League season. With Oryx this year, appeared in 21 games. It was his rookie season at the big league level. 25 years old. Made 9 starts. Mostly appeared out of the bullpen. First pitch to Boyorski. Pounded on the ground to third. Daryl George bobbles and can't recover. Boyorski will beat it out. First base runner of the night for Perth. That'll be an E5 on Daryl at third.
He just couldn't make the play, really. Seemed to have a little trouble there. Couldn't get out of the glove, then try to correct that initial mistake and just couldn't do it.
And Boyorski runs well, too. So I think after maybe the second bobble, you're thinking, I got to move quickly.
Correct. Yep. But Boyorski finds his way on base again.
Doesn't get a hit this time.
No, but he gets on.
He has been phenomenal this series. First pitch to Mateo, strike on the outer edge, 0-1.
It is interesting how certain guys just catch fire. We saw Jason Matthews from Canberra in that first series. It was so good. And now Boyorski doing the same thing.
0-1, popped foul, first base side. 0-2. Sometimes you just see the ball well at certain ballparks. I think, especially when we saw with Matthews, too, to his credit, the ability to elevate the ball when the wind was just gusting, which has been really the narrative this series, too. Get into the jet stream, and that ball will carry. 0-2. Well, 1-2.
He had another one yesterday, as did George Khalil, former ace.
He did.
Showing off his power. He's having a nice year at Canberra, George is.
First year in Canberra after a handful of years here in Melbourne. And he was impressive in that first round for the Cavalry. 1-2. Outside, he yanked a fastball. Count evens up. Aces will head back on the road next week. They'll go to Adelaide. Perth just saw the Giants, the team that they lost to in the championship series last year. Took 3 out of 4, got their revenge. 2-2, this could be 2. Dale charges, goes to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. Nice play to get it out quickly. Make that a 6-4 fielder's choice.
Yeah, he got it out really quickly.
It wasn't hit very hard, and Mateo runs well, so the Aces will take that lead out.
Next bat for the Perth Heat, Anderson Delgado.
Yeah, I wasn't sure he was going to go to second. When you said chance for double play, I was like, I think he's going to go to first, but he got it out so quickly.
Here's Anderson Delgado, left-handed hitting first baseman, caught yesterday. First pitch served on the ground to third. Darryl George tested again, fields cleanly and throws a strike to first to end the inning. Another rapid, efficient inning for Taito Takashima. He's hung a couple zeros on the board here early on. We enter the bottom of the second. Arturo Disla, the league-leading home run hitter, will lead things off when we come back on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Ed Wyatt, Max Tanger with you. The Aces say thank you to Hub Systems. Hub Systems offers overall systems integration, project management, technical consultation, system installation, training, and ongoing customer support to guarantee the best performance. What don't they do? Hub Systems, great to have them on board with the Aces this year.
No doubt about that, Ed. Well, what don't they do? What doesn't this guy do? Arturo Disla, leader of the league with his 6 homers. I mean, he leads the league in many of the major offensive categories. He has been a star early on here in the Australian Baseball League season. Leading the league in homers with 20 hits as well. One of just 3 batters in the league to be hitting over 400 with enough qualified plate appearances.
Yeah, he's been something special, no doubt about it. And as we said, a little bit of a cult hero.
He's my hero, I'll tell you that. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
It's a good pitch from Shin.
Shin out for his second inning of work.
It's kind of like you said at the start, a little bit of control. You can tell a little bit of control issues, but boy, he's got some nasty pitches.
The stuff is there for sure. 1-1. Swing. This one's blasted well fouled.
That's going to clear the fence on that back diamond.
See you on the train tracks. 1-2 the count here on Disla. Man, when the ball leaves his bat. For Shin, still hasn't given up a run this year. The Aces were threatening with Whitefield at third base, but he was able to clutch up a couple of punch-outs to get out of trouble. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. Check swing, he didn't go. 2-2. Disla was 3 for 5 yesterday. A homer, double, and RBI as well. In this series now, 5 for 10 with 4 extra base hits. It's a normal day at the park for him. 2-2. Inside, jackknifes out of the way. Count full.
Interesting to know how much the wind's affecting the pitchers as well. You don't always think about that, but, you know, balance and things like that on the mound.
Blowing against the right-hander as well. Here's the 3-2 to Disla. Breaking ball, taken upstairs for ball 4. Arturo looked like he wanted to swing the bat right there. He'll take the leadoff walk. Second base runner allowed from Shin so far. This time, a leadoff base runner for the second consecutive inning. Well, here he is, Darryl George, fresh off of breaking the home run record yesterday. We got to talk to him before the game about what a special moment it was for him, and he gets a big round of applause here in his hometown ballpark.
Seemed a little overwhelmed by it all, didn't he? It was like surreal. He used that word a couple of times. Just a huge moment.
First pitch, swing and a miss. Out in front of a breaking ball, 0-1.
And we did mention it. He'd been at that 39 home run mark for a while. We were talking last year, when's it going to happen? Who's going to get to call it? We were having a laugh about that, Michael Dixon and I. So there is that pressure, even if he didn't want to admit it.
0-1. Down low. Smothered by Hall, 1-1. I mean, it was an incredible night in terms of pageantry. You have that moment. They flashed the graphic on the scoreboard that says he broke the home run record. The fans start to notice, and he gets a standing ovation. He told us he forgot, actually, initially. And then you have the fireworks show in the postgame, and I'm sure it was just so much. 1-1 inside, 2-1.
And you also had the emotion of the game, right? Perth comes back. You're going, this is great. We're rolling. Daryl George got the home run record, blah, blah, blah. Perth come back, take the lead, in fact.
That was his first homer of the season as well. First run batted in. This game number 9. 2-1. 2-2. It's cool to look back, too. And we talked to Aaron Whitefield about it as well. When you look at these guys, a lot of the Team Australia representatives in the Premier 12, the WBSC, the WBC, they're legends here in Australia, but they're also legends for their individual franchises here in this league. And for Daryl George, it's only been the Melbourne Aces. 2-2. Down low. This one skips away from Hall, and Diesla will rumble into second standing up. So a runner in scoring position with nobody out. So we get another look here.
Hey, wild pitches quickly becoming a story tonight as they were last night.
Just overthrew an off-speed pitch there. Well, George looking to protect. 3-2 the count, nobody out. Here's the payoff. Ground ball sharply hit and through into right, a base hit. Diesla will get the stop sign at third. Another knock for Daryl George. And there's runners at the corners. The Aces are knocking on the door. Makes way to Antonis Macias.
Yeah, George put that in the perfect spot.
Entering this weekend, the only other qualified pitcher for the league leaderboards who hadn't allowed a run was Jack Mahoney of Canberra, who we saw dominate the Aces on opening night on November 15th. Well, Mahoney did give up a handful of runs this weekend, so Shin is the last pitcher remaining, at least in terms of qualified arms, to not give up a run, and the Aces are threatening to snap the bid. Macias takes a rip, 0-1.
Yeah, well, if I say this with all respect, if he can get out of this one, we know he's legit. He's legit anyway, but you know what I'm saying. This is a tough jam.
You'd have to tip your cap. Again, the 4th overall pick by the NC Dinos. 0-1. 0-2. Macias picked up a couple hits yesterday. He's had a good series. It feels like it's going underlooked now that he hit that first professional homer, which seemed at the time to be the story of the series early on Thursday night, and all of a sudden after yesterday, just got to put that one in the back pocket. Looking for another moment right here, the 19-year-old second baseman. 0-2, swing and a miss. Out in front of a breaking ball, and chases for strike 3. Second, make that third punch out for Shin.
Yeah, he's come up with big strikeouts when he's needed in first inning. Gets Glendenning and Bird back-to-back strikeouts now here. First 2 men on, gets Macias.
So now a double play gets him out of it. Mitchell Edwards, switch hitter, will swing it from the left side. Mitch was 0 for 4 yesterday. He's looking for something to elevate here. But away, 1-0. Maybe the approach, and I'm sure it is, for the Aces is to be very patient with Shin. We mentioned the struggles with command this year, and a lot of first pitch takes, a lot of deep counts so far as well. Pitch count up above 35 now for the right-hander. 1-0. Showing bunt is Edwards, and it's a good one, but will roll foul.
And if you're luckily, Jeff Dunn's not out there, because if you got Arturo Diesla bearing down, you don't want him to run into you.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's like a defensive lineman out
I was
there.
going to say, like being on an NFL game. You're right.
I like that idea from Edwards right there. Against a tough arm and shin. The third baseman in Kirokawa was already playing a step or two in front of the bag, but that stays fair. Diesla scores without a play. 1-1. He shows bunt again, but pulls back and takes a strike.
Oof.
1-2 now.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. I agree with you. It was a great idea and almost executed to perfection.
Well, a lot of room on the left side of the diamond with Colmenares, the shortstop, ranging up the middle. George at first, Diesla at third. One down, no score. Time now called as the dust blowing up in the face of Edwards with this aggressive wind howling around. Jared Belvin on deck. Arms left to right in the outfield. Angel Mateo, John Diaz, and Ulrich Boyorski. All with good arms. 1-2. Swinging a line drive. This is plenty deep. Mateo back, looking up. This one bangs off the wall. Diesla will come around to score. To third goes George. The ball skips away. Colmenares with his throw to the plate. Not in time. To third goes Edwards. The ball just pinballing around the diamond, and the Aces will take a 2-0 lead. The first run scored of the year against Young Woo Shin.
How about that? Just all kind of happened. Nice piece of hitting from Mitch Edwards. Had 3 hits the other night. Stepped up and drilled that one.
RBIs 2 and 3 for him, and talk about the carry on that ball. It looked like Mateo had it played, and then he quickly had to flash his number to the diamond and watch it fly off the wall. Here's Belbin, infield drawn with the corners in, middle halfway. Pitch is belted into the gap. Right center field, Boyorski has to play it on a hop. Edwards will trot home to score, and the Aces, another big inning. That's been the narrative this weekend. They lead 3-0.
Talked about Jared Belbin getting that big hit last night. Gets rewarded with a starting job tonight. Delivers. Good stuff from Jared.
RBI number 3, and hit the nail on the head right there. Jumped on the first pitch, too. Here's Aaron Whitefield. How quickly the tables can turn. With a snap of a finger, you got 3 runs.
It's a funny game, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Long inning here for Shin. Now over 40 pitches as that pitch misses inside for ball 1.
They always say about golf, they always call it a humbling game. Kind of the same thing here, you know. It's comes in with that incredible record. Haven't given up a run. Aces put 3 across here in this inning.
Whitefield looking to keep the line moving. He's singled in the first. He might single here. Lofted out to left center field. Diaz can't get it. Picks it on the in-between hop. That's a big break. If that gets past him, that's trouble. A single for Whitefield, first and second now.
I was literally thinking that's a very risky play from Diaz out there in center, but he made it beautiful.
It's like Arturo Diesla, the first baseman. First and second, one down for Jared Dale, who flew out to right his first time up. That takes a lot of guts from Diaz, actually.
Oh.
I think he was mostly caught in between, so he got to the point where he just had to give it his best shot, as we're going to see him meeting at the mound.
Here comes our buddy, the interpreter. Here we go. Here's Mitch Edwards. Smacks that left center field.
Taking a pitch, running away from him, too, and got the barrel on it.
Off the wall.
And those who didn't see it on their screen, the throw back into the infield got away.
Yes.
Which allowed George to score. He was initially held up, so it will be an RBI double and then an E7 that allows George to score as well. Just 1 RBI for Edwards.
Did also allow Edwards to get the third and score on the Belbin hit.
There's the Whitefield single and the nice pick from Diaz at center. So first and second, 1 down. Again, 3 runs in this inning. Dale is the 7th batter to come to the plate in this frame. Double play still in order, but the Aces are looking for more. First pitch. Outside, 1-0. There have been miscues in this series on both sides of the ball that have immediately led to runs. The big play on Thursday night was a potential inning-ending double play ball that wasn't turned, which then led to the Disla 3-run homer. That blew it open. 1-0. Strike called, 1-1. Yesterday, we talked about the pass ball that allowed a runner to reach.
Yep.
On the strikeout and pitch to the backstop, that runner came around to score to give Perth the lead. Here's the set and the 1-1. 2-1. But the Aces overall have done a really good job of taking advantage of mistakes and extra outs handed to them. Feels like they haven't been afraid to apply the pressure, too, on this Perth team defensively. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Another good splitter. Falls off the table, 2-2.
Dale started to walk away there. I thought he was finished.
It's at least one more pitch right here.
Yeah.
Belbin at second, Whitefield at first. 2-2. Swing and a miss. There's the splitter again. Hall can't find it, but first base is already taken right there. So a strikeout to Dale. That's the fourth of the night for Shin.
See if Robbie can get on track here. Robbie Glendenning caught looking at a third strike in the first inning.
Has struck out a decent amount in this series, but when he's put it in play, it's been with authority. Homered yesterday. Strike called, 0-1.
Good pitch.
Oh, 1 down low. Count will even up.
Really nice crowd here tonight, Max, as you mentioned. A lot of first base side packed. Third base side pretty crowded as well. People out and about in the All-Star Bar and the other picnic areas.
Perfect night for baseball. This will be pitch number 48 for Shin, the 1-1. Down and away, 2-1 now. I think when you think about the ideal game and ideal weather for a ball game, this is it right here.
Pretty good.
I don't think there's anything better than a 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock start where you get just a little bit before twilight, the sun is setting, you have all the sunshine shining on the field, golden hour.
Yep.
2-1 is driven high in the air with some carry out to left. Mateo spectating. This one is inside the pole and gone. Robbie Glendenning strikes again. The Aces' 9th homer of the series, and they double their lead to 6-0.
That's brought to you by Crew Fitness. Robbie, what did I say? Get untracked? He got untracked.
I'll tell you what, the ball is absolutely carrying out to left field. As that one got up into the stream, you could see the trees out there swaying backwards, and that's exactly where Robbie was able to barrel it up. That's his second home run of the year. Gives him RBI 6, 7, and 8. Here's Greg Bird. 0-1.
I think Greg wanted to join the home run party right there with that swing.
2-out production has been a specialty for Melbourne here. And after Shin had not allowed a run through 14 innings and 3 starts, he's allowed 6 through an inning and 2/3. 0-2 now on Bird.
I was talking to one of the volunteers here, and we were talking about the wind, and I did say if they're going to be home runs tonight, it's probably going to be the left field, and that's certainly what we're seeing here.
Unbelievable. Here's the 1-1 to Bird, or the 0-2 make that is up and away. 1-2. You've been to a lot of Melbourne Aces games. Have you seen the ball fly like this that we've seen this weekend?
It's been a while, yeah, I'll be honest with you. But this is a really, really strong wind.
1-2. Swing and a miss. There's the splitter again, and Bird goes after it to end the inning. Not before the Aces send 9 to the plate, push across 6 runs, punctuated by the 3-run shot from Robbie Glendinning. He's homered in back-to-back nights. We head to the top of the third. Aces lead by 6 as Taito Takashima comes out for his third frame of work.
At Light and Easy, we're fueling the champions. Our ready-to-eat, healthy and delicious meals are the perfect addition to a performance diet. Fuel your passion and your performance. Light and Easy. Eat well and play hard.
A lot to get on your feet about tonight if you're a Melbourne Aces fan. They lead 6-0. We're just in the top of the third inning. All the run production coming in that frame started by the 2-run double from Mitch Edwards, an RBI single from Jared Feldman, and then we get a look at this swing right here. Elevated, celebrate Robbie. Just sneaks it out. 9 homers, Ed, this weekend.
It's extraordinary. I can't say unbelievable. I'm on a ban from saying it. I said it about 4 times yesterday.
Do you have someone listening out for you?
I don't, but I can just tell in my head that I said it.
I'll mark him down every time.
No.
You got to mark me down for absolutely. Does that count right there? I hope not.
No, it doesn't.
Top of the third inning, Taito Takashima has been really efficient so far. Consecutive 9-pitch innings to start his night, and he has tossed consecutive scoreless innings. He's yet to allow a hit.
And he's got a 6-run lead.
It's got to feel good, right?
It does.
First pitch to Carlos Colmenares is taken for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Colmenares has been good, 4 of 6. Couple of walks.
0-2 now the count. He's been scrappy. We talked about it a bit yesterday, but the bottom of this Perth lineup has been really hard to set down. Even when they are retired, it's lengthy at-bats, raising that pitch count. One-two. Swing, and this one's hitting the air. Deep left field into the jet stream. You could kiss this one goodbye. It's inside the pole and gone. A solo homer for Carlos Colmenares. That's his 3rd homer of the year. Wasn't sure if that stayed inside the pole, but it did. The ball is just cruising through the wind tonight, and it's 6-1. You can't sleep on Perth. They came back from a couple of deficits yesterday.
He said something to Disla as he went around first. I think it was all in good fun. But, yeah, he got all of that. Did Colmenares. He's having a really good series. That puts him, 5 for 7 on the series.
Bottom of the order, strikes again.
Indeed.
Here's Jess Williams now. First run and hit allowed from Takashima as the pitch runs outside for ball 1.
Williams 2 for 8 in the 2 games with a double.
1-0. 1-1. That was basically hit right in the exact same spot of Glendinning's homer, too.
Yeah.
Just sneaking it over that 300-foot wall down the left field line. Hey, it's there. You got to take advantage of it, right? Pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Takashima looking for his second strikeout. Struck out Kennelly in the first as well. 1-2. Count holds.
When you give up that leadoff home run, too, you just want to sort of stop that big inning, right?
Looking for another quick inning, too. Keep that pitch count in good shape. 1-2. Outside, 2-2. pitch. Sharply hit up the middle, right back up the box and at center for a knock. The Heat will not go down quietly. 6 runs after yesterday, not a lot, especially with the way that the wind's blown out tonight.
That's right, and again, continuing your theme of the bottom of the order doing damage, it's a leadoff home run from Colmenares and a single from Williams. That's the 8 and 9 hitters.
Flips the lineup over for Fumio Kirokawa. Grounded back out to the pitcher in Takashima. First pitch, right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. George, even with the bag at third, defending the bunt. This a couple steps, as you can see, in front of his bag. Middle back, looking to twist it. 1-0. Look out.
Wow.
That did not get anyone. They don't have a water bottle, I don't think, in there either.
That was hit sharply into the Perth dugout. Scary.
Count evens up at 1-1. For those that did not tune in on Thursday night, there was a very similar batted ball, but that went into the Aces' first base dugout. I think it was Kennelly who was hitting a right-handed hitter. 1-1. Down low, 2-1. And we couldn't really tell what it hit, but it bounced off of whatever it did hit so quickly and so aggressively. You knew it hit something square. And then we got our camera shot, and it was a water bottle right next to Declan Spears. Down low now, 3-1. And it got absolutely destroyed. But it's guarding that dugout. It's keeping him safe. Talk about cult heroes. I think that water bottle's a cult hero. Hitters count. 3-1 is tapped up the first baseline. Out of play, 3-2. Well, Takashima's got to find the zone right here. Do not want to put the leadoff hitter, Kirokawa, on. 1 run already in on the homer from Colmenares. Payoff. Ground ball, could be 2. Macias shovels to second for 1. Dale's relay, not in time. Just a foot or 2 late. A 4-6 fielder's choice in the first out of the inning for Takashima. Get another look right here. Played pretty well from Macias. Got rid of it fairly quickly. But Kirokawa runs well. So 1 down, 1 on now for Tim Kennelly. First pitch, a strike, 0-1. Kennelly struck out back in the first inning. So far, the only strikeout recorded from Takashima. I thought it was pretty cool on George's record-breaking homer yesterday that he hit it over Kennelly's head, one of the most decorated athletes in Australian baseball history. 2-0. Of course, both teammates on the national Australian baseball team as well. Something interesting, too, when we talked to Daryl after the game yesterday, he mentioned it was fitting that his first homer as an ace was a wall scraper and that this one was a wall scraper. Bounce straight back, 2-1 now to count. Daryl, very mild-mannered, but still a big moment for him, and just continues to check off record after record after record. I said this a couple days ago, but we do research to make sure we can anticipate when potential records will be broken, and Daryl's got like 15 of them. 1-2. Ground ball, softly hit, past George in the left for a base hit. Station to station goes Kirokawa, a single for Kennelly. That's his first of the night.
3 hits in the inning, none to the first 2.
Second time through the order now. It seems like they're getting a better feel for him.
Indeed.
And that bottom of the order looking really good, too. Here's John Diaz now facing Takashima for the second time. He grounded out to short on a nice play from Dale. First pitch. Check swing. He run around, says the home plate umpire Mizuguchi. 0-1. Aces would love a ground ball double play, but Diaz runs well. He'll be tough to double up. 1 outside. Count evens up. So this is the longest inning so far, easily for Takashima, who cruised really through the first couple frames of this game. Took him just 9 pitches in each of the first 2 innings. Gets the sign he wants. He's now set. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, out of play. 1-2. Currently sits at 40 pitches now.
Temperature's dropping rapidly, Max. 22 now, and expected to drop to about 19 within the hour. So that might affect things a little bit too.
As you can see, cloud coverage now hovering towards the ballpark.
Yep.
It's got to be nice on the turf at least. Here's the 1-2. Down and in. 2-2 now. This has been almost a 25-pitch inning for the Japanese right-hander.
Yeah, that cloud cover, you can tell it's dark. They can get the lights fired up here pretty quickly because it's come really quickly. With this strong wind, obviously, the clouds can move in a little quicker.
Out of nowhere. 2-2. Still 2-2.
Contrary to belief, I am not a weatherman, nor do I
you
play
would
one
make a
on
great
radio.
weatherman.
I don't think, you know what, I'm bad at, there's a shot of the cloud cover moving in and sort of taking the sun away. I've got bad spatial ability, so I could never do the point, you know, how they point where the weather is. I'd be really bad at that.
I think you painted a beautiful picture, though.
Thank you.
Can just turn this into a weather station.
Thanks to Sportscast Australia crew for that great shot.
Matched action. 2-2, softly hit to second. Macias will take the sure out to first. 2 away.
Smart play.
Again, softly hit. Takashima has been able to induce that soft contact on the ground. Second and third down, though, as Karokawa advances to third and Kennelly to second. 1 run in again on the Colmenares home run. Aces still lead by 5.
Next up for Perth.
Here's Alex Saul, switch hitter batting left, and he's got thunder in his bat. 5 homers to his name this season, one of those yesterday.
Yep.
Have you ever attempted doing the weather before?
No, never had to do the weather.
You know who loves weather? Mike Trout.
Does he?
Oh, I think he is. It's meteorology, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a huge meteorology guy.
Yeah, right.
So in another world, he's a weatherman. Maybe he'll do it
Best
after he retires.
weatherman in history.
Oh, easily. Takashima ready. Here's the 1-0. Slashed foul. Count evens up at 1-1. I love when, especially professional baseball players or professional athletes in general, they're so naturally talented and gifted, and they put a ton of work in their craft. But when there's another passion out there, you always think that if you're making it to professional baseball, you've dedicated your entire life to the game, which they do, but sometimes there's something else that they love even more. 1-1 is down and away. 2-1.
You're saying Mike Trout likes weather more than baseball?
I don't know if he likes weather more than baseball, but hey, sometimes you need a distraction.
Of course you do.
I wonder what happens when the Angels are in a weather delay. Does he go up there?
There's a high pressure system coming through.
I'm sure Ron Washington loves it. Takashima ready. Check over to second. No. 2-1 is popped up. Shallow left field. The wind tugging it into foul ground. Belbin will watch it fly out of play.
That's
2-2.
a great example of the win, Max, because initially Darryl George kind of had almost that I've got it. And then you could just see, he realized he had no chance. It was going to be blown away. Dale was really moving in behind there for a potential pickoff.
I think a miscommunication there,
Maybe.
which could have cost the Aces.
Yeah.
He was going with the daylight play, moving in behind the bag to try and catch the runner on second base. And Kennelly, who's the back runner, off guard. And as he crashed to second, Takashima started his delivery, so it created a vacant left side of the infield. Either way, Aces get another shot. 2-2. Little looper, left side, over George and down for a base hit, and 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Karokawa, right behind him, Kennelly, and we got a ball game. Perth cuts the deficit in half. It's 6-3 on a chip shot to the cut of the outfield grass and left.
That's one of those we always talk about. You look at the scorebook, it doesn't matter that it wasn't rocketed off the fence. It just blooped into left field, got the job done.
Joking with Arturo Diesla right there as well, saying, hey, you don't have to hit the ball 110. to drive in a couple of runs.
Exactly right.
Hall gets his 12th and 13th RBI. He's now tied with Diesel, by the way, for the league lead. Maybe that's what they were talking about. Pitch to Boyorski, down and away, ball 1. So this lengthy inning continues for Takashima.
Where have we seen this before?
Well, it felt that he was cruising through this one.
Yeah.
First time through the order was lights out. Didn't allow a hit to the first 7 batters. Boyorski skies it to right. Glendening launches it fly out of play to even up the count at 1-1. Takashima now, after entering the inning with 18 pitches at the half-century mark. 32 pitches in this frame. Boyorski reached on an E5 that came back to the second inning. Full shift on for him. 1-1. Jack swing, he went around. Mizuguchi rings him up for strike 2.
Here we go again. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next out is strike 3 ball.
Nakashima trying to limit the damage to 3. 1-2. Run away, count evens up. So far this year, the season high in pitches for Taito is 77. That was in his last outing at Sydney. So, at the very least, if he can get out of this, you're hoping maybe an inning or 2 left out of him. 2-2. Swing and a miss. The splitter disappears of Boyorski, and Takashima able to get out of trouble. However, Perth pushes across 3 on the homer from Colmenares and the 2-run single from Alex Hall. It's 6-3 Aces as we jump to the bottom of the 3rd.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Big crowd on hand tonight and a special night at the ballpark as well. Aces lead 6-3 after 3 runs pushed across in the top of the 3rd inning from Perth, highlighted by the solo shot from Colmenares and the 2-run single from Alex Hall. Well, Youngwoo Shin gave up his first 6 runs of the season in the 2nd inning, but a little bit closer now, and his job, keep Perth in this game and get as deep as he can.
Yeah, absolutely right. He'd be feeling better now, coming out with a 3-run deficit instead of a 6-run deficit.
Absolutely. Well, for the Aces, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 to their order. Diesla, George, and Macias after they sent 9 batters to the plate in the 2nd inning. I got a question for you, Ed.
What do you got?
One of the long-living questions in baseball lore. Is it considered batting around when 10 come to the plate or 9 come to the plate?
Ooh.
Have you heard this one before?
No,
it's
I haven't.
Very controversial.
Actually. I have not heard it.
I don't know where I sit, to be honest with you. I almost think all you have to do is send 9 to the plate. Because to me, that means everyone came to the plate. But the around makes you think maybe you need the 10th guy there. Almost a full circle.
Yeah, I think I'd lean towards the 10.
Okay.
I think.
Just for entertainment, I'll sit on the opposite side of the table then.
And we'll yell at each other like sports TV shows.
1-0. 2-0. Yeah, who wants to be Stephen A? Hitters count here for Diesla.
Well, if you're pulling the kind of money he's going to pull in the new contract.
Fair enough.
I'll disagree with anyone.
Here's the wind to the 2-0 to Diesla. Swing, and this one's corked down the left field line. It's down. Puts a dent in the wall. Diesla turning on the Jets, racing in a second, showing off that speed. The big man has another extra base hit.
He is so much fun to watch.
I know it's really shallow down the line, but he makes this place look tiny. Hanging, breaking ball. And he got all of this and top spinned it almost out of here.
The way it hit, I was afraid it was going to be one of those really good bounces and it was going to be a tough play at second, but it wasn't at all.
Look at that, a little sway. Some bear claws maybe too. He's primetime TV. Here's Darryl George, runner in scoring position. The pitch is swung on a miss to 0-1. Well, the Aces need to add on here, given what we saw in the top of the third from Perth, and no better way to start it than a leadoff double. Macias on deck as well. George single to right. Back in the second inning, would come around to score on the Edwards double. 0-2.
Got caught on that one. Darryl swinging an outside pitch. I think he knew it too by his body language after that. A little too eager.
0-2. Swing and a miss. Went out of the zone again. Strike three. That'll be another strikeout for Shin.
6, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And he's had a really good night so far, aside from just a couple of pitches that have caused all the damage. And again, definitely a start he would like to have back, but you could see the stuff and how good it is. First pitch to Macias is upstairs, 1-0.
Yeah, he's averaging 2 strikeouts an inning.
He's getting the swing and miss. But he has allowed a couple of barrels, and they have costed him, especially in pressure spots with traffic on the base paths. 1-0. Old foul. Count evens up at 1-1.
Does seem to be lightening up a little bit. I was worried that some of those dark clouds might be bringing rain, but I don't think they are. Nevertheless, I think you will see the lights on fairly soon here as it is starting to get dark and a little cooler, as I mentioned earlier.
One to Macias. Down low. This one skips behind Hall. Diesla will walk into third base. Another wild pitch and some insurance 90 feet away.
So many in this series.
So Perth will draw their infield in here. Hard hit ground ball with their range cut down. Likely sneaks through. Fly ball does the job as well. Two one. Outside 3-1.
Good eye from Macias there. He thought about it for just a second. Just looks so young. He looks like one of my son's friends, you know, out there. But certainly the way he plays.
19 years old.
Remarkable.
3-1. Down low. This one scoots away from Hall. Here comes Diesla. The tag is applied. 2 away. Macias will take ball 4 for the walk. And I think maybe Arturo got a little too antsy there after seeing plenty of balls skip away tonight. It's not the guy you want running at you, I'll tell you that.
Nice work from Alex Hall there.
So 2 down now for Mitch Edwards. And all of a sudden a jam turns into an opportunity to put a 0 on the board here for Youngwoo Shin. Jack to first. That was a big lead for Macias, but he's back in safely. We talked about it. Diesla moves well for his size, but
that was a little
gutsy
ambitious.
Right there. First pitch to Edwards, outside 1-0. If you're thinking anything, you're thinking maybe when Hall is applying the tag, Diesla coming in with so much momentum and so much force that he could potentially knock the ball out of his glove.
Very smart from Hall, though, kind of the sidestep tag.
Yeah, don't want to go one-on-one.
Nah.
That'd be a mismatch. And then Hall's a big guy, too. Macias goes the 1-0, slinging a looper. Shallow left field. That one drops in for a knock. Edwards having a good day, seeing the ball deep as the ball scoots away for a moment. Macias will hold at second base. First and second here with 2 down for Jared Belbin.
Next up for your races, Jared
We've seen
Belbin.
Edwards do that a couple of times this weekend, too. He had the 3-hit night on Thursday evening where he is just sticking with it the other way and serving balls.
Well, he's 5 for 10 with that 2-hit night tonight.
He's got to feel good after a slow start to the season, but he has been so valuable to this club. He has caught at least an inning in every single game this year, and he started all but one.
And he's the team photographer.
Oh, even more important. Belbin charges this one up, deep right field. Boyorski back. The wind will knock it down. For out number 3. That will end the inning. I think there was a miscommunication there. A couple of the players were tagging up. I think maybe with the Disla play at the plate, threw everybody off. Either way, the Aces strand a couple of runners. We get to the top of the 4th. It's 6-3 Melbourne.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Things cooling down a little bit. Wind is still here. See some people enjoying the night at the ballpark. Another place where you can enjoy a drink and some food is the Sporting Globe. Wings, burgers, ribs, much, much more. Over 50 screens at every location. Private booths, of course, with touchscreen TVs. There are 12 current locations opening in Bendigo very soon. Half-price wings and ribs every Monday. That's the Sporting Globe. Good place to go and watch some sport, whether it be Australian, like the cricket, or American NBA, MLB, NFL. Sporting Globe, great to have them on board with the Melbourne Aces. Ed White, Max Tanzer with you. Aces lead it 6-3. As we head to the top of the 4th inning. Angel Mateo, the left fielder, is up. He drills that into left field. That's going to be a tough one in the corner for Belbin. Plays it well and is going to hold Mateo to a long single. Fifth hit of the night for the Perth Heat, and they have definitely found their rhythm at the plate here after a rough start.
Next up for the Heats, Anderson Delgado.
Anderson Delgado now steps up. He grounded out the first time. Still looking for his first hit in the series. That was Mateo's first hit in the 3-game series so far.
A lot of balls hit the other way tonight. Showing bunt. This one's a good one. Off the mound is Takashima. Makes way to George. The throw and another beauty, but Disla is pulled off the bag. We'll get another look. He is the surest hands in this ballpark, I'll tell you that.
Unbelievable scoop, but yeah, I think you're right. We'll get a closer look at it. It's a really good bunt by Delgado. Nice play by George, but he has to get rid of it off balance. Look at this scoop.
I think he kept his foot on the back. It's tough.
Wow.
And we're going to see a crew meeting right here.
We are.
And they're still going to call him safe. John Diebel exchanging words. He's not happy, particularly with home plate umpire Takuya Mizuguchi as we get another look. This was an athletic play by George, too, making that throw on the run.
Sure was.
I got to tell you, it's a tough angle for Casey Cook right there.
Yeah, agreed.
He couldn't really see if Diesela's foot was on the bag because Diesela was stretched so far out, and he really had a better view of his shoulders. Either way, it'll be an infield single for Delgado. By the way, a primary catcher with a bunt base hit. Here's Colmenares. He's homered tonight. First pitch is a strike at the knees, 0-1. Tying run at the plate here for the Heat.
And here's that. There are the lights that we talked about. Look at that.
You're the happiest man at the ballpark right now.
I was a little worried that maybe Justin Huber forgot the combination to turn him on or something.
0-1. Swinging a soft line drive through into center for a base hit. Mateo getting the wave around third. He'll score without a play. Well, the Heat just continue to hit. Carlos Colmenares is having himself a night. 2 for 2, a homer, 2 runs batted in. And all of a sudden, Perth trails by 2.
And there is some action, as you would expect, in the Aces bullpen. It's a little earlier than John Diebel and Peter Moylan would like to see.
Evan Rutsky.
But yeah, Evan Rutsky is up, and there'll be a meeting here at the mound.
And Rutsky threw a lot of pitches yesterday.
Did indeed.
Peter Moylan, pitching coach for the Aces, heading out to have a conversation with Takashima alongside Japanese translator Riki Tokunaga. And I think, again, trying to slow things down, a couple of tough breaks on the bunt play where Diesela looked like he may have kept his foot in the bag, and then a soft base hit to center.
First 2 innings, Takashima doesn't give up a hit. Third inning, 4. This inning, 3 already. So just like that, things have turned. Diesela having a chat there.
Hopefully he's okay. Again, had to stretch
Yeah,
a lot.
big stretch.
And then just maybe 5 minutes after his full sprint to the plate. Takashima now just a couple bullets shy of 60 on the night. Again, his season high is just over 75. Well, a big spot here. The tying run now on base for the Heat. That's over at first base. Jess Williams to the plate. He singled back into third and would come around to score. Or he was eliminated, in fact, on the fielder's choice play. Nobody out. We'll see if he wants to lay down a bunt. George in front of the bag at third at a 45-degree angle. He does show bunt, pops it up. Takashima plays on a hop, skips away from him, and rolls into foul ground.
Oh, man.
That's a play he would like to have back, and now the bases are loaded here for Perth.
Have a look at this, Max. That's what you dream of when a player misplays a bunt, and Takashima just didn't read it right and then makes a meal of it.
And this is going to be it for him. John Diebel out for his second meeting of the inning. And the Aces, with left-handed hitting Fumiya Kirokawa due up, will go to the left-hander Evan Rutsky. That's one of those plays where you get caught in between, and I think he was past the point of no return and just had to come in. And then it had some funky spin on it and took an awkward hop. Bases loaded for the Heat. Kirokawa already has a grand slam on the year. The tying runs at second. Go ahead at first. Nobody out. Rutsky into the game for the Aces.
OmniGraphics, your leaders in super wide format printing across Australia. With 2 full-scale production facilities in Queensland and Victoria, our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed, and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with OmniGraphics for your next printing project.
Well, this ball game is heating up. pun intended. 2-run lead for the Aces, 6-4 your score. The bases are loaded, nobody out, and the new pitcher on the mound is Evan Rutsky after 38 pitches yesterday.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. As you look at Peter Moylan there, the Aces pitching coach, just had a feeling you see Steve Kent is warming up as well, too. Maybe this is Rutsky is kind of your emergency guy. Let's get out of this inning, and then Kent comes in, and he can go 3, 4 if need be, that longer relief stint.
Big crowd on hand tonight for some Saturday evening baseball. A lot of kids in the crowd, a lot of local youth players in the crowd tonight too. And while it's cooled off a ton, the bats are on fire on both sides of the ball. Combined 10 runs tonight after a combined 19 the night before that, after a combined 12 before that.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
Well, Rutsky tossed an inning and 2/3 yesterday. Did get charged for 3 earned runs. But just looking to keep the lead here for the Aces. They'll play with the corners in and middle back. Nobody out for Karokawa, who hit a grand slam last week. Lefty on left. First pitch. Breaking ball buried. 1-0.
So that Williams was given a hit on that?
Looks like it.
Wow. That's very generous of the scorer here.
I think maybe, well, it was a play you want to be made. Maybe just because it was a bit unroutine, him having to come off the mound.
Yeah, potentially.
Tricky hop.
Yep.
But if you ask Takashima, I think it's a play he wants back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yep, good point.
I think he almost kicked it, and that's what kind of put him in a tricky spot. Once it rolled into foul ground, there was no chance to recover. Will be a sacrifice granted to him, too. 1-0 is down low ball to 2-0. Karokawa, not particularly known for his power, has incredible bat-to-ball abilities, but has flashed some pop in this series as he did last weekend as well.
So 6 hits from the bottom 4 in the order.
They've been incredible in this series. 2-0. Swing and a looper, shallow right. Glendinning cutting in. It's down in front of him for a base hit. What a jump over at second base from Colmenares as Rutsky combines with the runner, collides with the runner. And you have to hope everyone's okay. It will be ruled interference as Rutsky gives a pat in the back right there. That was Carlos Colmenares, who's racing into the plate.
Well, get a look at that. Wow.
Talk about collisions in this series. That one a little bit more of a scary one. But with that, we do have a tie ball game. It's 6-6. Giving our look at Rutsky just trying to back up the throw. Can't see it there.
You just see his head fly into the picture on the left side of your screen. They're checking to make sure he's okay. That is, if I'm not mistaken, is that 5 consecutive singles?
It is.
If you've given that Takashima single. Wow.
5 singles creates 2 runs. First and second, nobody out, and the Heat are not done yet. Tip Kennelly to the plate, lefty on right here. Those 2 runs will be charged to Takashima. Both of them earned. Kennelly 1 for 2 tonight. We have really seen everything in this series.
It's crazy.
Glad everyone's okay on both sides. First pitch is down low, 1-0. Kennelly showing bunt. 6-5 your score. I believe it should be 6-6. Because 2 runs did score on that play.
Yeah, just showing. Yeah, there we go. They're working on Perth time.
Here's the 1-0. Kennelly swinging, takes down low ball 2-0. With Rutsky, the key is you got to be able to spit on the breaking ball. He is not afraid to live down and potentially in the dirt too, with all the north to south action on that pitch. And has gotten so much chase on it this year, but a really good job from Kennelly to lay off a couple. Diesel well in front of the bag at first, trying to set himself up to get a force at third. Tied at 6 here in the 4th. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Changeup gets a weak hack, 2-1.
Can't say I've seen 5 consecutive singles too many times in my years of watching baseball.
It doesn't happen too often, especially in this day and age.
And normally you would have, say, a double mixed in or something, right? Just 5
Or an
consecutive
out?
singles. Well, yeah, an out, obviously. Just in terms of hits.
Oh, for sure. Well, these have all been in a row, too. Nothing in between.
No.
Here's the kick of the 2-1. Swing, and it's popped up. Shallow center. Macias back out. He'll make way to Dale, the shortstop, who squeezes it. Infield fly rule in effect. 1 away.
That's a big out.
It is. But again, the Aces, while I think it's a bit deflating, especially for the crowd here after jumping out to such a quick 6-0 lead after the 6-run second, still in this game, still plenty of time left.
Sure is, as we saw last night.
It was just shy of 3.5 hours last night. I think we're on pace for a similar finish here tonight. We got a quick turnaround tomorrow with the 1 p.m. start.
Yeah.
Here's John Diaz, lefty on left again. 1 away now. Pitch is down low. 1-0. So another 2 RBIs, by the way, for Kawa. He's driven in 5 of the last 2 nights. 9 on the season for him. He has been a thorn in the side for the Aces. Really scrappy, but really fun to watch. Runners take their leads. That's Williams at second and Kawa at first. 1-0. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. Dale will take it to the bag for 1. The toss to first. Just in time, he got him. 6-3 double play, perfectly timed. Beautiful work from Evan Rutsky. Get another look, a high-bounding chopper. And Dale takes his time to punctuate the inning, keeping it tied. 6-6 your score. Perth has climbed all the way back as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Bottom of the 4th in Melbourne, and we've seen just a little bit of everything. Tied at 6. Got to tip your cap to the Perth Heat offense, who has just been relentless in this series, particularly the last couple nights, Ed.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it yesterday, and it's the same thing today. They just are relentless in the way they come back, and the Aces have been resilient as well, too. Happiest man in the park probably is Shin Young Woo at the moment, to be honest, because he's, suddenly from a big deficit, he's in a tie ball game.
He could come out of this one with a win, depending on how the final,
that's right.
5.5, 6.5 plays out of this game. As you get a look at the Aces coaching staff. Look at Greg Bird, the DH tonight. Looking for some big swings later on in this ball game. Well, the Aces will send up the top of their lineup. Aaron Whitefield will lead things off against Shim, who aside from that second inning where he allowed 6, has looked pretty good so far. A lot of swing and miss in his game, as he's punched out 6 hitters through his 3 innings of work. First pitch to Whitefield. Showing bunt, pulls back as that one runs inside. Look out. 1-0. It's a scary one because when you show bunt, your chest is exposed.
Yep.
A little arm side run right into your kitchen. Whitefield 2 for 2 tonight. He's been all over the base paths. Shows bunt again, pulls back. Takes a strike, 1-1. Here's the kick and the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, misses upstairs, 2-1. I was talking to Whitefield before the game. We had given him the 20-game hit streak ball plaque as well. and he was just talking about, I got to elevate the ball tonight. Get it in the air after hitting the ball so hard on the ground yesterday.
True.
2-1. Elevates this. A looper to right. Boyorski has to play it on a hop. A 3-for-3 night for Whitefield. That is the second time in this series he's picked up a 3-hit game.
He just is seeing it so beautifully, like a beach ball.
Yeah, literally.
It's amazing.
Aside from the one game on Sunday where his 20-game hit streak was snapped, he's picked up a hit in every game this year.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The hit streak record is 26, and would have been in good position to break that. Here's Jared Dale. Good speed on first. To check to first, Whitefield gets back in safely. Speaking of the disengagements, we mentioned Shin has not been afraid to use them when Whitefield is on base for good reason. What are your thoughts on the disengagement rule?
Yeah, I think in this league it doesn't bother me. I think in the majors it makes sense to speed things up and all. That's more of a marketing thing in a lot of ways, right? To keep games, I think, moving a little quicker, which I actually think is important in baseball, which has the oldest fan base of the major sports.
Bring back the stolen base as well.
Yes.
Make it a little bit easier as Whitefield caught leaning but gets back in.
Yeah, it's a good point as well.
Increasing the size of the bags, and now John Diebel's going to come out to have a conversation with Casey Cook. I'd have to imagine he thinks that Shin is balking here. I can't think of any other explanation. I'd love to get another look. Sometimes pitchers will very slyly lift up their front heel just a little bit, as that's where the base runner is looking to see when he could start to take off if he wants to. We get another look right here. He comes set and pauses.
Jeez, if
looks
you can
pretty
find a
clean.
balk in that, you're better than I am.
Sometimes, again, it's just that front foot that
Yeah.
might come up a smidge before he steps off, but I don't think that was the case there. We'll have to talk to Deebs after the game. Another move, and Whitefield back in safely. I'm pretty sure they call it the balk move.
Interesting.
Because, again, the runner is just focusing on that front foot. For Shin, that's his left foot. Pitch is down and away. Count if it's up.
And we didn't get a great view of it either, so potentially that could be what you're talking about. If
People
you
with
see it
that.
from this angle, for example.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll get one right here. One. Swing and a miss. Blew a fastball by him. A vicious hack from Dale. 1-2.
Sure did.
Well, let's see if Whitefield wants to take off. Stole a base in the first. That was his third of this season, but would be stranded. Dale has good speed as well, so he'll be tough to double up. Shin is set. 1-2. Runner goes. The pitch upstairs. Throw down to second is high, and it skips into center. Whitefield racing for third. Diaz will put it in his pocket. Go ahead run 90 feet away as Whitefield continues to put the game in motion.
That stolen base brought to you by South Morang Motors, and Whitey just puts a little fear into him. Throw goes into center field, and he snags another one.
That's his fourth stolen base of the year. Career number 93 for him. 7 away from becoming the first Australian Baseball League player to steal 100. Infield drawn in here for Perth. Count even at 2. 2-2. Down low. Good stop from the catcher and Hall. Count now full.
Yeah, good work from Dale here. Working this full count here and just really put something in play to bring Whitefield in. Ace is fighting back after giving up 3 in the last 2 innings.
It wouldn't be a series between these two teams, at least this year, if there wasn't a tug-of-war affair. Pitch. Strike 3 called. Big pitch right there from Shin. He picks up his 7th strikeout and a huge out number 1.
Better look at it here.
Next up for your Melbourne Aces, Robbie
I
Glenn.
think Dale might have thought that was a little low and maybe outside. It's a tough one.
Well, he's a third of the way from getting out of trouble. Here's Robbie Glendening. He's already homered once tonight and twice in this series. Greg Bird on deck as well. Infield still in. First pitch. Strike called, 0-1. For Shin, his season high in punch-outs is 8. That was against Brisbane. Pitch is popped foul, 0-2. That was 2 starts ago. And that came in 4 innings. This will be pitch number 81 for him. 0-2. Breaking ball, look out. Slipped out and backed up over the head, 1-2.
Looking out in the Perth bullpen, there's a little bit of throwing out there. I'll see if I can find out who that is.
Gotta imagine the night is near its end for Shin. He would love to finish it
think so.
in a tie ball game. 1-2. Swing, and this one's hammered deep out to left center field. Diaz back, so is Kennelly, and he makes the catch. Tagging from third is Whitefield. He can walk home and score to give the Aces a 7-6 lead. Robbie Glendening drives in another.
Well, it wasn't the smoothest play you'll ever see from an outfielder, but I think Kennelly was turned around a couple of times. I wasn't sure it wasn't going to get out of here the way he turned.
The way that Glendening reacted, too, I think he thought he had it, but the wind has just been so volatile so far, as you could see. Just maybe a little bit underneath it. That's actually Mateo out there.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah, the Kennelly's designated hitter tonight. You're right. Mateo almost did a 360 there, making the catch.
Well, 2 down for Bird, a run in, 7-6 Melbourne. 7 runs allowed from Shin tonight after not allowing any through his first 14 innings. 1-1 the count here on Greg, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out a couple of times. 1-1. Swinging a line drive, left center field. Diaz cuts across and squeezes it to end the inning. But the Aces push across a run on a hit. No errors and leave nobody on. A sacrifice fly from Robbie Glendening, and they lead it 7-6 as we head to the top of the 5th here at Melbourne.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. The makers of Dasher and Fisher began in 2017 with a vision to specialize in gins that speak of place and express Tasmania's remoteness and untouched beauty. Taste the rich, fertile soils and pure Cradle Mountain snowmelt in every drop of Dasher and Fisher Tasmanian gin. Very, very good gin as you look at the Melbourne Aces dugout in another crazy game, Max Tanzer.
A tight one as Steve Kent, the new hurler on the mound for the Aces after Evan Rutsky, despite allowing a couple inherited runners to score, able to keep this game tied, and the Aces on the Glendening sac fly take their lead right back. For Kent, in an I would say, familiar role in a way. He's been a reliever for the Aces before. Has had 2 outings so far this year for Melbourne, both of them for 1 inning. For a guy who has starter experience, maybe later in the season, a guy when some of the starters leave and go back home, might be someone you try to stretch out tonight, especially with how much of the pen you used yesterday.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were thinking when Rutsky came in. Well, he wasn't going to go any more than 1, just kind of got to put the fire out, if you will. And then Kent, yeah, they'd expect him, I would think, to go 2, 3 maybe.
That would be very valuable for him. Kent last pitched on Sunday in Sydney. Just tossed an inning, 15 pitches. Again, hasn't tossed more than an inning with the Aces this year. When he was with Team Australia for the Premier 12 tournament, he also was coming out of the pen. So he really hasn't been stretched out. But one of the all-time Australian pitchers. Look at Alex Hall. Guy he's pitched to plenty to lead things off. First pitch, taken for a strike, 0-1. Talked about Darryl George and him chasing some records. Well, Steve Kent is on his way, too. Just 2 wins away from tying Tim Atherton for 3rd most all-time. Unfortunately, Atherton is out for this season. One of the Sydney star hurlers, one of the Team Australia star hurlers. He's also 55 strikeouts away from tying Atherton for the most in ABL history, too, which is a huge accomplishment. Here's the 1-1. Outside 2-1, currently at 423.
A very tight strike zone tonight.
That's Takuya Mizuguchi calling balls and strikes here in Game 3. We haven't seen too much action for Taylor Field, the third base umpire, making his debut. 2-1s down low, 3-1 now the count here on Alex Hall.
He's probably happy about that.
Wanted to stay out of the drama as much as he can. It'd be fun to talk to him after the game. See, I'm sure his heart's pounding a little bit here tonight. To do it here as well and where he grew up. Down low, ball 4, leadoff walk to Hall. He's reached base twice.
First walk of the night for Aces pitchers.
In Game 1, one of the big storylines, which went underlooked when they scored 10 runs, was that they didn't walk a single batter through 9 innings. And then you go yesterday. The free pass was difficult, especially for the bullpen. Tripp only walked 1, but then there were 6 from the following 3 relievers. Doing a good job filling up the strike zone tonight. However, Perth has been on the attack. 9 hits for him, matching the Aces total as well. Here's Boyorski. First pitch. Outside and high, 1-0. Good night at the ballpark to enjoy some snacks with the family. Again, our biggest crowd of the weekend thus far. Just saw about over 1,000 yesterday. Great work from our marketing departments, our ticket departments. Swing and a miss. 1-1. You hear me, Zach. He was howling me for a shout-out, so I had to work it in.
Absolutely. No, you're right. It's a really nice crowd tonight.
And now that the sun's completely set, those in the third base grandstands can enjoy a cooler night. 1-1, down low with a breaking ball, 2-1. And Kent struggling with the command here early on.
Just missing 2. Close.
Just got the attendance for tonight. And announced 1,764 on hand here.
That's great.
Healthy crowd here at the ballpark tonight. 2-1 from Kent. Down straight back. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good look at the first base grandstands right there.
Yeah, and a lot of people out in those picnic areas, party areas as well.
And taking his time as he peers in for the side. 2-2 the count on a dangerous hitter here in Boyarski. Hall takes his lead, the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, tailor-made. Dale flips to second for 1. The relay just in time to get him. Boyorski runs incredibly well as the Aces beat him by half a step.
Double play brought to you by Master Dry Cleaners.
Another look right here. Just what the doctor ordered if you're Steve Kent after struggling with that command.
Very close.
First base umpire Casey Cook on the call. Base is empty, 2 down now for Angel Mateo, the left fielder. Completely changes the perplexity of this inning for Kent as he pours in a strike to open things up with Mateo.
Yeah, it was huge. That's why they say pitcher's best friend, right?
It is. More than that, I'd say. Here's the wind to the 0-1. Spiked a breaking ball. 1-1 now the count.
It's like a cricket. Bowling and cricket.
I saw them playing cricket during the rain delay yesterday in the dugouts.
Yeah, they do a bit of that here.
I love it. I don't know what they were using. Were they using a fungo maybe?
Yeah, just a
which
bat,
makes it
any
harder
bat.
because
Yeah.
fungos are thinner. 1-1, taken outside, 2-1.
Any bat works, and you just kind of then sort of throw the ball in, try and spin it, fool the batsman.
Have you ever played cricket before?
I've played a little bit. I'm not in any, it's very hard for an American who's not grown up with it.
2-1. Cue shot with some English, old foul.
You know, it's interesting. So, if you're a right-handed in baseball, which I am, I'm kind of a switch hitter, but I'm
look at
mainly
you.
right. And when you get a cricket bat, the technique wasn't there. I wanted to just swing it like a baseball bat. As soon as I switched to the left side, which would be how you would play hockey, for example, I was much more technique-driven because it's the top hand, your dominant hand kind of does that. People can't see what I'm doing right now, but if you hold a cricket bat with one hand, you want to do it with your dominant hand.
Well, you want to get its face out there, right? Because it's flat.
Yeah, you want to swing it that way.
It's like me with golf. It's not pretty. Kent takes a deep breath, peers in. Here's the wind and the 2-2. Little looper, right center field. Glendening overlays out. He can't get it. Lightfield able to back it up. A base hit for Mateo. And the inning continues.
Second straight hit for him. That's the 10th hit of the night for the Heat. A lot of these sort of just looping balls tonight.
I was just going to say, well, particularly to right field, the wind blowing against it, it's just knocking everything down. And Glendening got a good jump and committed to it. Fortunately enough, it wasn't hit that hard, so it didn't roll quickly. But then on top of that, Whitefield able to back it up. Here's Delgado. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
So that's 7 hits now for the bottom 4. 7 of 9.
Setting the table for the top of the lineup.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if anything, they've been the key producers tonight.
Yeah, been fantastic. Mateo 2 for 3. Delgado 1 for 2. Colmenares 2 for 2 with a home run. Williams 2 for 2.
In a shootout like this, you need every single one of those 9 guys. Infield shifting to the pull side of Delgado here. Kent ready from the stretch, the 1-1. Fisted, foul territory. Edwards ranging over. Disla coming in. He slides and can't make the catch. He has been belly flopping all night long. 1-2.
That's another one that just got into an area where 3 guys are around, but none can get to. Look at that. Just can't get there. Edwards and Kent as well.
A good effort nonetheless, but Delgado will live on for at least another pitch here. Just about ready to reach the halfway point in this one here. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Delgado back to the box, looking to protect. Get ready. 1-2. Down low, 2-2. For the Aces in the bottom of the 5th, they'll send up 5, 6, and 7. Diesla, George, and Macias. Ready, 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Macias will make way to Dale as the wind blows it right into his pocket for out number 3. Steve Kent had to throw a lot of pitches, but hangs a 0 on the board in the top of the 5th. Into the bottom half of the frame, halfway through it here in Melbourne. Arturo Diesla to lead things off after this.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Look at Robbie Glendenning and Aaron Whitefield having a good time with John Diebel there in the first base dugout. Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Well, Young Woo Shin, yes, he's given up 6 runs, but he is back out there for the 5th inning, giving the Heat some length after the Aces pushed across 6 in the 2nd. Max Stanza here, joined alongside Ed Wyatt. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Game 3 of 4 here at Melbourne Ballpark between the Heat and the Aces. Arturo Diesla will lead things off. He has reached base twice on a walk and then a rocket double into the corner and left. It'll be Diesla, George, and Macias. First pitch, breaking ball upstairs, 1-0.
Another Korean pitcher warming up in the bullpen for Perth, Yute So, whose nickname is Shaq, but we'll get to that in another conversation once he comes into the game.
Tell me Shaquille O'Neal's warming up?
That's what they call him.
Now that
he's a
would be
big
fun.
guy.
2-0 the count here. Shin had 86 pitches, so this is without a doubt got to be his last inning.
There's a look at the ballpark.
Beautiful. 2-0. Up and away, 3-0. If the Aces end up dropping this one, of course, do lead right now, one play they will look back on is when Diesla was at third base on a ball that skipped just a foot or two away from home. 3-0. Got the green light and fouls it straight back for strike 1. And he decided to go, and it was an aggressive move.
Yeah.
And he was tagged out, and every run counts here in a game like this. Loud bang as you hear the oohs and ahs from the fans behind us. Hitters count for Diesla. 3-1. Strike called 3-2. Got the fastball right there, and he zipped it in.
Having a conversation.
He is not afraid to chat. I'll tell you that.
He's not. You're absolutely right.
He takes his time out here. Little smile on his face. There you go. Just looking to reset. No pitch clock for him. Of course, played the entire year in the Rangers farm system where he doesn't get to take as much time. 3-2.
Staying alive.
And that's the theatrics I think we've talked about. Not only does he hit the ball harder than maybe anyone in this park, but he's very expressive.
He is.
He's always doing something. Here's the 3-2. Another big swing. Another big finish. Count still full. He might dig a hole in front of home plate after every backswing that he's falls over towards the left-hander's batter's box. It's a lot of force in that rotational hack. 3-2. Down low ball 4. Gives a little Soto shuffle as he'll take a walk over to first base. Good at-bat. Plate appearance, I should say, pieced together from Diesla.
Second walk of the night for the big fella.
He's reached base all 3 times.
He has.
He got an inkling he wants to run. Him and Delgado have a little exchange. Him and Delgado are buddies. They've been talking pregame at batting practice. Him and Delgado and Colmenares, Diaz, all of the Rays prospects. And they've had a couple of fun exchanges over at first base. Well, here's Daryl George. 1 for 2 tonight, the pitch. He shows bunt and drags it down the third base side, past Shin, and there will be no play. Daryl George shows off the wheels, an infield single. First and second here with nobody out. Bop your 40th bomb of your career yesterday, then pick up an infield bunt single the next.
Georgie didn't give me enough time to say this. It was like I say, that last at-bat, remember he swung at a lot of pitches outside the strike zone. So I was just wondering what he was going to do in this situation. Fools me and lays down a bunt. It's beautiful.
Well, that'll be it for Young Woo Shin. Gives up a season-high 7 runs. He'll be responsible for Diesla at second and George over at first base. We're going to step aside. Aces lead 7-6. Looking for more with Antonis Macias to lead things off when we come back.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Back at Melbourne Ballpark, first and second, nobody out. Aces lead by 1. And there's a look at the big man. They call him Shaq, Ed.
We did find out that is his nickname, Yu-Tae So, 27-year-old, also with the NC Dinos. This is his second KBO team, by the way. But, they call him Shaq because of his size, a big man.
Left-handed, too. It doesn't get better than that. You were mentioning it. He towers over everybody on the mound. He was on the backside of the mound where it's not at its peak height, and the rest of the infield was still up there, and he was still taller than everybody.
He's 6'4", 253, so that would be, 100 kilos? I'm not good at that. Anyway, he's a big man, 6'4". I've been over here 20-some years. I still haven't figured out height and centimeters.
Get another look at Arturo Diesla right there.
Great shot.
Getting a hug with Carlos Colmenero, as we mentioned.
Great shot.
All those guys' buddies. Back to your kilos. Well, you heard how I pronounced kilometers the other day, right?
Well, yeah. Kilos, you kind of sort of double it roughly for pounds.
Okay.
Roughly.
I'm not very familiar with...
Centimeters is really... for height, it's just weird.
Not familiar with kilometers game. I gotta get
yeah.
Study it up a little bit. More of a miles per hour guy myself.
Well, they use that in baseball, luckily.
Yes,
luckily for you.
It's quite the convenience for me. First and second, nobody out. The Aces looking for some insurance, and boy, do they need it. Antonis Macias to the plate. The third baseman, Karokawa, in front of the bag, defending a potential bunt. So ready. Closes himself off as well. What a dominating presence on the hill. Macias shows early and pops it foul straight back for strike 1. Macias has struggled against left-handers this year, but did pick up a hit against the southpaw yesterday. In a big spot at the time. Tie game, and lofted a line drive single to right. Diesla takes his lead from second, George from first. Showing early again. The pitch. Popped it foul, 0-2.
That was a tough pitch to bunt.
I think just the delivery. Because he's closing himself off. He's so tall that it's almost like he's stepping at you and throwing at you from a diagonal angle. Probably a little deceptive. And then on top of that, you're trying to bunt it.
Yep.
Tricky spot for Macias, now behind 0-2. Pitch. Popped up. Out of play down the left field side. Count still holds. Mitchell Edwards on deck, a switch hitter, then Jared Belbin, another lefty. This is the perfect lane for Sol here. Oh, 2. Rolled foul. Still 0-2. It's my lucky day. I just got 2 Coca-Colas.
I was going to say, we just get some food and drink delivered here very kindly from the folks here at the ballpark. Just like your own personal Coke machine here.
Yeah, I got 3 on the table right now. Get ready. You have not seen me on a sugar rush. Still 0-2. George takes his lead from second. Or first. Diesla from second. 10 hits on both sides. Ace is up by 1. Here's the 0-2 again. Rolled foul. Macias putting up a good fight.
Sure is. Long at bat.
He reached on a walk back of the 3rd inning. That was the same plate appearance and the same pitch that he took ball 4 for, in which Diesla was thrown out trying to score on a pitch that scooted away from the catcher Hall. Again, nobody out. Macias just looking for, at the very least, a productive out. Oh, 2 again. Look out. Took it down to the glove of Hall. Still 0-2. What's unique about the seating here at Melbourne Ballpark is that it's all elevated. There's no seat here, at least in the grandstands, that's at field level. Reminds me a little bit of Globe Life Park in Arlington, the home of the Rangers, which is also elevated, one of the newer ballparks. So those foul balls, there's really not a chance to grab them when they roll foul on the ground. 0-2. Down low. What a stop by Hall. 1-2.
Hard to believe that's the first ball of this at-bat. He's fouled off so many. It's incredible.
After a couple of bunt attempts that he could not execute. Macias has driven in 3 in the series. They all came on Thursday night, including his first professional homer. One, 2. Spoiled again. He stays alive. Got a breaking ball that time.
Remarkable.
And this is, I think, what you want to see from a 19-year-old, especially if you're the Rangers looking right now. This is a tough matchup against a deceptive left-hander who's shown you all of his pitches now.
Yep.
Of course, you got to imagine Macias not particularly happy with himself on failing to execute on the first 2 bunt attempts, but making a plate appearance out of it, trying to still be productive. 1-2. Swinging another foul straight back. Still holds at 1-2.
Should have been counting these.
Yeah. We've talked about the plate discipline for him. He hasn't walked that much this year, but the walk rate was at about 17-18% last year in affiliated ball. Garnered, those are at lower levels of minor league baseball, so a lot of guys don't have the same command as the higher levels, but still showing discipline. He's not going to necessarily chase. One, 2 again. Breaking ball, a good sharp bender, bites the inside corner, finds the front door for out number 1. Long at bat from Macias.
After all that, that was a good pitch. Seems like it broke a bit late, I'll be honest with you, but close enough.
Big out, and now Mitchell Edwards will dig to the plate. Switch hitter will bat from the right side here. And the Heat could use a ground ball. Inning started with the walk to Diesla and the single to George. Now ready. First pitch. Swing, and it's popped up. Shallow right field. Could be some trouble. Boyorski ranging in. The second baseman, Williams, can't get it. It's down. The stage should go to the base runners. Diesla in the 3rd. George in the 2nd. And the wind just slapped that one away.
What was I saying about balls just finding a spot where people aren't, or dropping in there. That's a tricky one with the wind. It's hit into that really crazy spot. Williams gets over and then just sort of overruns it.
It's like the wind played Puppet Master. Meeting at the mound here. Bases loaded, one down, and Jared Belbin, a left-handed hitter, due up. Aaron Whitefield on deck as well, so Belbin extending this inning crucial. And trying to get something to elevate, which will be tough. Belbin's had a good night. Picked up an RBI single back in the second inning. Also flew out to right. The ball to leave pretty well, but the wind knocked it down. Could use one of those fly balls right here. Diesla 90 feet away at third. George at second. Edwards at first. The pitch. Down low. 1-0. By the way, Edwards now, his second 3-hit game of the season. And both have come in this series. The other Thursday night. Just had one 3-hit game last year. That was against Adelaide. He has been seeing it well. Hasn't really hit any of them on the button, but good plate coverage. And he's been finding holes. 1-0 the count here on Belbin. Aces have yet to hit a grand slam this year. Pitch is fouled straight back. Count evens up at 1-1. Something to keep in mind, too. The Aces, who had never scored double-digit runs this year before this weekend, potentially could do so for the third straight night tonight. It has been an offensive show. Runners take their leads. Here's the set. And the 1-1. Down low, a good take.
Yeah, great on.
2-1. Belbin runs well, so he'll be tough to double it up. Everybody back on the infield. Force it all backs. Two-one. Outside, 3-1. Well, Belbin's going to have to be ultra selective right here. A hitter's count with the bases full of aces. Top of the order at Whitefield on deck.
There's a nice at-bat here from Belbin, who's really, as you mentioned, having a good night.
Belbin getting his first start in the weekend. Looking to do some damage. 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Forces in a run from third. That's Diesla, and the Aces take a 2-run lead. It's 8-7. Second RBI of the night for Belbin. He's got 4 on the year.
And now you got Whitey coming up. 3 for 3.
And all he needs to do is find a gap.
Yep.
And everybody's off to the races. So now George at third, Edwards at second, Belbin at first. Good news, too, is that if Whitefield does hit it on the ground, he is tough to double up. At this point, the Aces are just trying to claw as many runs across as they can. They'll take them in any way.
Well, and you know Perth isn't done, so you need more runs.
Lefty on right, advantage Whitefield. 1-0. Our first pitch is taken outside, now 1-0. Seven hits in this series through 2.5 games or so here for Whitefield. Yanked it, down low, ball 2. And Sal really struggling with his command.
Yeah, he sure is really having issues. And that's not good when the bases are loaded with 1 out. If you're a Perth Heat fan, that's very close to hitting Whitefield.
And a lot of his pitches being yanked to the glove side, just overthrowing it right there. Really good stuff from Alex Hall behind the plate to keep these pitches in front of him. Coming at a tough angle, too, I'm sure. Hard to pick up back there. Hitters count for Whitefield. 2-0. Swing and it's skied. Shallow right center field. Probably not deep enough. The wind grabs it and it's down. They're going to throw the plate and George is going to score. They had the force, but the throw comes in on a hop and Hall couldn't pick it cleanly. How about that? Everybody's safe and it's 9-6 Melbourne.
Oh, the wind is just wearing a white Melbourne Aces uniform at the moment. Look at this.
My goodness. Again, a tough angle for Williams.
It is.
As he had to readjust. And then the right fielder, Boyorski, very alertly threw the plate. But Hall couldn't play it on the hop cleanly. Peter Moylan likes it. Keep that line moving, he says. So I think technically that should be ruled an RBI single.
I think they've given him an error.
All right, here's Jared Dale.
And actually may have given him an error on the previous one, Max.
Strike called, 0-1.
Jared Dale, the next up for you, Melbourne Aces.
I'm just trying to look at the number of hits here and correlating them with the scoreboard, if that scoreboard is correct.
I see it too. They have given it an error, at least for now. Base is still loaded. Edwards at third. Belbin at second and Whitefield over at first. 0-1. Swinging a line drive through in the left field for a base hit, and the Aces are pouring it on. Edwards scampers home, and now the run into the Aces have hit double digits for the third straight night. It's 10-6.
I was just about to say Dale is due, and there you go.
Picks up another RBI. That's his fourth of the series. And everyone had to hold with it on a line, and we're going to see Andy Kyle come out to the mound. Robbie Glendinning due up. Base is loaded, one down, and the Heat will bring in their third pitcher of the inning. We'll be back after this. Aces threatening for more when we return. Third pitcher of the inning used by the Heat, and we got a right-hander here as the Aces look to continue to pour it on. We don't have a 14 on our roster, so we'll hopefully get you the name of this right-hander as soon as we can. But either way, a tough situation to inherit here, Ed. It'll be Robbie Glendinning at the plate here, and you have Dale at first, Whitefield at second, and Belbin over at third base. The Aces have chipped around 3 runs as we get another look at this play. Whitefield pops it up, and again, the second baseman, Jess Williams, tied in a knot. The wind picks it up, lays out, can't make the play, and then they have a force at home because George was tagging, but the ball skips away.
Kieran Hall is pitching. I think he may have had a number change. We saw him the other night.
So Kieran Hall to take the bump here and just looking to keep the Heat in this game. Meanwhile, if you're Melbourne, you're looking for as many as you can get. They've scored as many as 6. That was back in the second inning. That's the most they've scored in a frame all year long. So Robbie Glendinning digs in. He's driven in 4 today. That's a season high for him. A 3-run homer in the second, and then drove in a run on the 4th with the sac fly. So Kieran Hall comes in trying to get out of trouble right here. That sac fly from Glendinning almost got out back in the 4th. First pitch, strike called, 0-1. for Kieran Hall. No relation to Alex Hall, but you do have the Hall battery here. Alex and Kieran behind the plate and on the mound, respectively. 0-1. Tapped up the line and foul. 0-2.
Just as we thought we couldn't see anything more interesting happen in this series, we've got the wind-affected pop-ups.
I'll tell you what, you called it, Ed, when we were doing our pregame show today. You were on it.
The wind.
It was swirling. 0-2. Breaking ball down low, 1-2. How's your hair holding out?
Yeah, struggling early. It's okay now inside. But no, it was when I was down on the field watching batting practice, talking to Mick Wern, talking to some of the players, you could just tell it was a sort of an atypical wind. It was absolutely hard to pick where it was coming from and where it was going.
Well, the Aces have taken advantage of it for the most part this evening. 1-2. Foul just out in front of a breaking ball. Count will still hold. Force it all bags. Double plays in order. For the Heat, what will be the top of the 6th inning, they'll send up 8-9-1. Colmenares, Williams, and Kurokawa looking to get back into this one. All set, slightly closed off. 1-2 again. Down low. What a stop as Hall buries it right in front of him. 2-2. An absolute brick wall back there tonight. Get another look. Those ones in front of the plate are tough, too.
Oh, so hard.
Two. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on a slow breaking ball. There's out number 2. Hall comes in and punches out his first batter, and now it'll be Greg Bird with the bases loaded and 2 away.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Kieran Hall coming in, getting a dangerous hitter like Glendenning.
Bird's been quiet tonight, 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and lined out to center. 5 homers, second in the ABL in that category. Let's see if he can take advantage of the jet stream. Aces looking for their first grand slam of the year. Pitch, swing, and this one's sent in the air, fairly deep out to center. Diaz sticks with the wind, makes the catch, inning over. Bird jumps in the first pitch, flies out to center, but the Aces push across a couple on an RBI walk from Belbin, an RBI single from Whitefield, and an RBI knock from Dale. They have the lead back as we head to the top of the 6th here in Melbourne. Well, the Aces have scored 10 runs for the 3rd straight night. Unbelievable stuff from this offense, who has now scored 31 runs through the first 3 games, and we're not even done with Game 3 yet. Steve Kent out for his 2nd inning of work, got in some trouble back in the 5th inning, but was able to get out of it unscathed. 8-9-1 due up here for the Heat. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Max Tanzer here, along with Ed Wyatt. As always, here for every home Melbourne Aces game this summer.
These are unbelievable games. I know I wasn't going to say unbelievable. I've said it again. It's like you said yesterday, it's just seeing something new, just when we thought we've seen everything settled in. The Aces look like they're in a bit of control now. Guaranteed Perth's going to do something.
This is a big inning for Steve Kent to make a statement.
It is, actually.
Got to stop the Heat from responding, which they've done a phenomenal job of in this series. First pitch to Colmenares, taking all the way. Spits on it down low for ball 1. Kent will go from the windup with nobody on. And there's the starter in him as he fires the 1-0. Strike called, 1-1. Colmenares probably take it till he got a strike right there. He's had a really good night. 2 for 2, a solo homer and a 2-run single that came back in the 4th. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1-2. So Kent will go for more than an inning of work for the first time this season. In his previous 2 and only other outings, he had gone exactly 1. But he has the starting background, and John Deeble needs some length from the pen tonight after Kaito Takashima just went 3+ innings. 1-2. 2-2. Aces won't be back home until what, the Boxing Day weekend?
Boxing Day 26. I think the series starts on Boxing Day, I believe.
That'll be my first ever Boxing Day.
There we go.
I'm excited. That'll be against the Bandits. Aces back on the road for 2 weeks after this. Bounce straight back, still 2-2. Were the Aces at home for Boxing Day last year?
I don't think so, no. In fact, I think it's been a while, actually, Max. I would have to check the records, but I don't recall being here on Boxing Day, to be honest.
It will be my first time at a baseball game that late in the year. I'm excited for it. It should be fun. Hopefully we can do some fun things with the players as well. Holiday themed. 2-2, rolled out to short. Dale's got it on a couple of hops. Throws over, 1 away. Any Christmas traditions for you?
Well, it's the thing about Boxing Day. Some people actually have a as big a Boxing Day as they have a Christmas.
Interesting.
Like it can be for some people. Obviously, the cricket is here at the MCG, starts here, and the Aces series starts. So big sport on Boxing Day as well.
Here's Jess Williams. So why is it called Boxing Day?
There's a whole story behind it. I thought it had to do with boxing up gifts for the less fortunate coming from England.
Oh,
I
very
think that's
nice.
what I've heard, but that may not be right. Maybe something to do with something else, but that's what I've heard.
And is it just more so a post-Christmas holiday
Day after
relaxation?
Christmas.
Yeah.
It can be, but it can also be, I would say, yes.
Maybe Thanksgiving-ish? Down low 1-1? Like a family day themed holiday? I guess that's Christmas too.
Yeah, it just sort of depends. It can be more of a day where you go out and just hang around, maybe play a little cricket in the backyard, jump in the pool, that sort of thing, if you're lucky enough to have one.
I got to go and try cricket. I can't play in a game, but just swing for a little bit. Up and in, look out, 2-1.
Maybe I'll bring a bat tomorrow and you can
That'd be great.
get a look at
Let's
it.
go take BP. What do they call BP in cricket?
Net session.
Net
going
session.
into the nets to get the long nets that you go in and play.
When the Aces were going through rain delays in Sydney last week, they were actually sent to would it be called a net facility?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. Right.
Something along those lines. And they were basically getting their work in cricket facilities.
They're indoor cricket. There's indoor cricket, which is actual sport. So, yeah, it would be an indoor cricket facility, I would say.
Works well, though. Ties together. You can throw your bullpens, I'm sure, just with those lanes.
Yeah, definitely.
All you need is some nets to take some swings. 2-2 from Kent. Skied out to left center field. Again, the wind is hugging it to the gap. Left fielder Belbin's there to make the catch. 2 away.
Wind seems to be less of an issue on that side.
Yeah.
When you look at it, but
Here's Karokawa with nobody on now.
there's a couple of big outs there. Colmenares and Williams, both of them were 2 for 2. And Colmenares had the home run. So those are 2 big outs, even though it's the number 8 and number 9 hitter.
And they've been so good.
Yep.
Cleaner start to the inning for Kent as well. First pitch. Strike called 0-1. He walked the batter, the first batter he faced of the night, in fact, to open up the fifth. And then after a double play ball that he induced, he gave up a base hit. But looking to face the minimum here.
See the wind there blowing that flag, and the trees in the background still very strong.
0-1. Down low. Count evens up at 1. Perfect timing to get those flags out there. Just put up yesterday.
Yeah, needed them for this series, that's for sure.
They help us, I'll tell you that. Just telling the story, because we're inside, we can't really feel the wind.
No.
And even if we had our windows wide open, it does blow differently underneath the overhang than it would on the field. 2-1 now, count.
Getting a look at Andy Kyle, his coaching staff, trying to come up with some options.
Down low, 3-1.
I'd like to see that one. Jeepers.
You could see Mizuguchi. He's loud back there.
There it is.
Just flinch a little bit. I think he was calling it low, and it probably was low.
I think it's the right call. Close, though.
Here's the 3-1. Strike called. Count full at 3-2.
That's a nice comeback pitch there from Kent. Don't want to lose him here after 2 quick outs.
He's yet to strike out a batter tonight. This is season high in innings worked already, and an inning and 2/3. Looking to cap it off with 2, if not more, later tonight. Payoff. Fouled straight back. Count still holds at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I think we said that we thought they'd want Kent to go 2, certainly 3 maybe, I think, but we'll see. He's had to work hard here, but certainly hasn't been in any trouble.
Twists and tosses the payoff pitch. Fouled off again. Count still full at 3-2. Another lengthy at bat here.
That just sizzled over a group of guys over there to our left having a good time, and
they got a crew up there.
They do, and the ball just kind of flew over the top of their heads.
Sometimes the best spot in the ballpark is the highest seats where no one's at, so you and your buddies can hang out. The 3-2. Down low, ball 4. Really good plate appearance from Karokawa. First base runner of the inning allowed from Kent, and that'll make way to Tim Kennelly. I remember when I was younger going to the ballpark, a lot of times I would choose with my friends to just go up to the highest seats in the stadium. Because why not? Especially on a Tuesday night where they're wide open. If they let you, yes. But at that point, you're like, here's my ticket. I'm paying more for this one than
exactly.
where I'm trying to sit.
Yeah, that's very true.
It does vary from ballpark to ballpark, though. Here's Tim Kennelly. First pitch is taken down low for ball 1. How many ballparks in the States have you been to?
Ooh, not that many, I would say. Having spent early years in Baltimore.
Okay.
Memorial Stadium then. And then a couple of Seattle parks, the new one and the Kingdome.
Oh, I would have loved to go to the Kingdome. 1-1. Just from a historical standpoint. I know it wasn't the best place to watch it.
It was all right, actually. No, it gets a bad rap because it was not great, but it was a good place to watch baseball, I'll be honest with you. And those teams were fun to watch as well. Dodger Stadium is great, one of my favorites.
Would love to get down there,
Great
too.
stadium.
John Diva was just there for Game 1 of the World Series. 1-1. Taken for a strike, 1-2.
Good pitch. Really good pitch.
It was interesting because Deebs had just gotten back from the first couple games of the World Series. Just went to the games in L.A. Had to come back early to get ready here for the Aces season, but got to see Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off grand slam in person. Of course, Deeble, if you weren't familiar, a scout for the Dodgers. Got another ring.
Yeah, I know.
He's got 6 now.
Just thinking about that.
0-2. Fouled straight back, still 0-2. Goes all the way back to the late 90s run from the Florida Marlins when Edgar Renteria walked it off against Cleveland. Broke the Red Sox curse in 04.
Yeah, that's right.
Got a ring in 2013, too. 2020. Part of some of the most iconic World Series over the last couple of decades.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Big pitch here from Kent.
He's set. His 0-2. Popped up first base side. Diesel gonna play with the wind, ranging over. He's got it. Inning over. No runs, no hits, no errors. A runner left here for Perth as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Melbourne leads 10-6. We'll be back after this on Aces TV.
Well, folks, a little bit earlier on, we had our under 16.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Aces lead at 10-6. There's the fellas hanging out at the top of the ballpark.
And they're in a good spot, too, because pristine cleaning, of course, the Melbourne Aces would like to thank Dom, Chantel, and the amazing team at Pristine Property Solutions. They clear the grandstand, seating, glass, and exterior of Melbourne Ballpark this season. Remember what we say, Max. Aces fans, it's not clean unless it's pristine. Pristine cleaning on board here with the Aces.
Poetic. You come up with that?
I did not.
It sounded like an Ed Wyatt. It was great. Well, Kieran Hall out for another inning of work, his first full frame after Andy Kyle had to go to 3 different pitchers in what was a 3-run frame for the Aces. Arturo Disla, who led off the 5th, will lead off the 6th. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Aces have sent 9 to the plate twice tonight, in the 5th and also in the 2nd. Both those innings started with Disla, by the way, walking.
Yeah, really good point. That's right.
Some symmetry.
Yes.
In a series that has been anything but symmetrical, to be honest with you. The count evens up at 1-1 here on Disla. He had a nice little dance with the wind an inning ago, and he dances with this one on the line to right, but Boyorski stabs it out of the air. One away. Hit that one on the button.
Sure did, but hit right at Boyorski in right field.
Quick out, and that'll make way to Daryl George, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Talked a lot about Boyorski offensively as you get a look at him, but defensively he's shined as well. Robbed Antonis Macias of a homer a couple of nights ago. How cool would have that been, by the way, if Macias launched 2 after never hitting 1 in his professional career? Came that close.
He did. That's a very good point.
I mean, if things went his way, he could have had 3 in the stretch of, 4 games?
Yeah.
3 games? Almost hit one out in Sydney the other day. I loved when we talked to Chris Burke out of the game, after the game on Thursday. George pounds this on the line to left with some topspin. Mateo adjusts and squeezes it 2 quick outs.
2 hard-hit balls directly at outfielders.
That's how baseball goes, and the little loopers are getting down tonight. But when we talked to Chris, we asked him how cool of a moment it was for Antonis to launch that first home run. He goes, I was surprised he got it out. Didn't know if he had to pop after Friday in Sydney.
That was funny.
It was. Chris Burke just recently playing in his 100th game of his career.
Getting the night off tonight.
All those games with the Aces. Here is Macias. First pitch. Breaking ball, a strike, 0-1. I loved how we talked about, too, being a development player. Of course, for those not familiar, a lot of times the Aces and other teams around the league will roster a couple of young teenagers, local guys, 0-2. And a chance for them to play more of a depth role. Again, we've seen Ratcliffe start a couple of games at shortstop after Jared Dale was out for round 3, 0-2. Slashed foul, still 0-2. The developmental players on the roster for the Aces this weekend, Ryder Wilson and Jack Radcliffe. Andrew Land was on the roster last weekend as well. Opportunity for them to play with some of the older guys, more experienced guys. When I talked to John Diebel a couple days ago, he was telling me about how big of a role Greg Bird has played for Jack Radcliffe, which was really cool. 0-2's down low, 1-2, because Jack is 18 years old, was born in 2006.
Yeah.
Greg Bird has played all over the world. New York Yankees, most recently played in Mexico. He's done it all. And he's helping out a kid who's just starting his career here in Australia. 1-2. Sliced foul again, still 1-2. I mean, how cool is it for Jack Radcliffe, who maybe grew up seeing some highlights of Greg Bird, or at least being aware of him?
Yeah, it's great, and that's the great thing about this league, too. You've got all these guys with experience and some really younger guys as well, too.
1-2 again. Outside, 2-2. Paul thought he had it.
He
Yeah,
did.
we'll hold.
He did.
I mean, what, Travis Bazzana was playing in this league when he was 16?
Yeah.
Incredible. Bazzana recently playing in the Premier 12 tournament for Team Australia. 2-2. Popped up, shallow center. Let's play with the wind again. How about it? Diaz
Here
on
we
his
go.
horse. Makes the catch. Almost collided with Colmenares. And the wind has just been diabolical for this Perth defense tonight, but Diaz able to stick with it. Well, we head to the top of the seventh. Aces lead 10-6 here on Aces TV.
At Light and Easy, we're fueling the champions. Our ready-to-eat, healthy and delicious meals are the perfect addition to a performance diet. Fuel your passion and your performance. Light and Easy. Eat well and play hard.
Folks, the Melbourne Aces really appreciate their volunteers here on game day. They do a fantastic job to help us.
Look at him go as we begin the top of the seventh inning. Steve Kent coming out for his third inning of work in a bulk relief role tonight. Quick reminder, special thanks to Ned Australian Whiskey, the official whiskey of the ABL. Visit nedwhiskey.com.au for a limited edition Ned and ABL collaboration premium Aussie whiskey. Ned, it's Aussie for bourbon. Well, Steve Kent's been everything you can ask for so far. Again, just trying to keep this a 4-run lead on a night where you only got a handful of innings out of your starter in a series where scoreless innings are at a premium.
That's where it's really nice to have a guy like Steve Kent, veteran, knows his role, can play different roles, not afraid of a big moment.
Not at all. Look at that hair. I love it. You would never dye your hair that color?
I've never dyed my hair.
Wow, good for you.
Never, ever have dyed my hair. One of those weird things. I've just never had the urge to do it. That's pretty full on, that one. There we go. Some people in the All-Star Bar. That's people having a good time there. Good place to watch the game, have a drink, have something to eat.
Another chance to come out to the ballpark this weekend. Series finale tomorrow, Sunday at 1 o'clock. Make sure to come out to the ballpark. Aces won't be back for another couple of weeks when they host Brisbane on Boxing Day. Look at Greg Bird. 3, 4, and 5 due up against Kent. It'll be Diaz, Hall, and Boyarsky. Lefty, switch, righty.
There might be an extra game in that series, too, right? There was that rain out that they were talking about making up. I'm not sure it's official yet, but
it is expected that there will be an extra 2 home games for the Aces this year.
Bonus baseball.
Why not, right? You ready for those doubleheaders?
I'm ready. I can do a doubleheader.
Yeah, I'll have 6 Coca-Colas. I'm currently on number 2 right now. We've been chugging them. Here's John Diaz. First pitch is inside ball 1. Are you a Coca-Cola, Red Bull, coffee?
All of them.
Okay.
But not in excess.
The coffee here is
good, isn't it?
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm from Seattle, which is the coffee capital of the United States, essentially. Here's the 1-0.
This is the coffee capital of the world, arguably. It's very...
I didn't even know before I took a sip, and didn't really notice it at first. I was just like, wow, I'm really focused right now. I'm really amped up. And then someone told me the coffee here, it hits you different, to quote him. And I was like, you know what? You're right. 2-1, fouled straight back. I get it every morning now. On my way, get on the train, have my coffee. Sometimes it's finished by the time I get to the ballpark. Sometimes I leave half of it for later. 2-1 the count here on Diaz, who's 0 for 3 tonight. 3 groundouts, including a double play that came back in the 4th. Here's the wind to the pitch from Kent. Down low ball 3. Hitters count at 3-1. Look down the third base side. I haven't tried the tacos yet, Ed. Those are pretty new, right?
I have
they
not
last
either. They are new. Yeah, I have not tried them either. I'll have to get on that.
In the Brick Lane tent. Here's the 3-1. Up and in, ball 4. Leadoff walk for Diaz. He reaches base for the first time today. One of my favorite things about the Aces is I've gotten more familiar with the organization, coming to some games, working some games. It's interesting how they theme it around American baseball. You obviously have your pies and so forth and Australian foods.
Yes.
But it does feel like there's an effort to bring the American ballpark foods in, which is a staple. I mean, when you think of going to a baseball game specifically, you think of the hot dog, you think of the nachos, whatever it may be, and there's quite an effort to make sure that that's replicated to get that experience.
Peter Moylan out with a quick visit to Steve Kent. Maybe just settle down. He's walked. That's the 3rd walk he's given up. And the 2nd leadoff walk, if I'm not mistaken.
Aces had not allowed a free pass before that as we get a look at Kyle Morrison starting to warm up. It is a little bit chillier now.
I was going to say it has changed a little bit. The wind is still there, but it is cooler and colder, and I'm not sure the ball's going to travel the way it traveled earlier in the game.
Definitely a little brisk. Diaz takes a shuffling lead from first. Kent, you can see that jersey. It's hugging in the wind. Swing and a miss. Good changeup, 1-1. Morrison now with the sweatshirt off. Those sweatshirts, you can actually go to the Aces merch shop and buy them yourselves. I have one. They're amazing. Yep. Love them. I didn't bring mine tonight, though, because I thought it was going to be so hot. I didn't learn my lesson from round 1.
Rookie mistake.
1-1's outside, 2-1. Yesterday, I wore long pants and a polo, and it was brutal with how hot it was, so I had to go get some shorts. And so then today, I was like, I'm not going to dress warm again. And look where we're at now. 2-1. Queued up the first base line and foul. 2-2.
MelbourneAces.com.au, of course. Check out that merch, or if you're at the ballpark, check the store. Get something for Christmas. Free gift wrapping.
Free gift wrapping.
Done by Max Tanzer.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put a bow on it and everything. If you want some character with your gift wrapping, then yeah, you can hit me up. I'll do my best. Also selling new seat cushions, so if you're coming to the ballpark and want a comfy Melbourne Aces seat, it's got a handle on it. You can open it up and clean the cushion inside too. 2-2. Pounded down the line and foul. Still 2-2. Annie does a wonderful job down there. She always comes in and brings in all the new stuff. And look at that. Billy Parsons is fired up. So is the rest of the crew down there.
It's like that ice hockey game where they bring a fan out and he shoots the puck to try and get it through that little hole. That was kind of like that.
Or the full court shot.
Yeah.
This one's 300 feet away, though. I wonder how long they've been waiting for that.
Yeah, probably the whole season, knowing the bullpen.
2-2 down low, ball 3-2. Bet you they've opened the gate for every single one. Let's get another look. Here we go. Oh, beautiful execution.
Oh, perfect.
Right down Main Street.
Look how excited they are.
Bulls a strike. That might be our play of the game. It was the water bottle on Thursday night. Now we got, what would you call that? Skee ball?
Ooh, yeah, bowling. Bullpen bowling.
Runner goes, pitches, strike 3 called, throw down his second, strike him out, throw him out. How about that?
We'll call that a master dry cleaners double play.
Second double play.
That's huge.
Induced with Kent on the mound, and I think Diaz had thought it was ball 4 because he went in standing up.
Yeah,
good throw from Edwards, and good job by Macias to stay composed on the tag. Who knows if Diaz slides? Maybe it's a different story. Well, a clean slate here, and each time Kent has walked a batter, he's been able to wipe it away.
That's really true.
Here's Ulrich Boyorski now. 2 away in the inning, top of the 7th. Aces have been able to regain control on the pitching side. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
He's a wily veteran.
Get another look. It's on the scoreboard now. Beautiful.
Look how excited they are.
Cameron Gibbons, Billy Parsons, I think Joey Steele in there. Pitch, swing and a miss. 0-2.
Oh, man.
I've been meaning to mic them up. I haven't asked them if they would like to yet, but if they're willing, I think that would be gold.
Yeah.
That moment would have been incredible.
You'd probably have to edit it heavily.
Yes. They may have over-modded the mic in that moment right there, but you know what? Content is content. Here's the 0-2. Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There is some action down there, as we talked about. Morrison warming up, so I think Kent gets through this one.
Let's get through a season-high 3 innings. Swing and a miss, he got him. How about Steve Kent? Welcome back home to Melbourne. 3 scoreless innings. He holds the lead to 4. It's time to stretch here in Melbourne. Take another look as the Aces lead 10-6.
All right, folks, we do this everywhere around the world. It is the 7th inning.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. Fans are all stretched, enjoying some sweet Caroline as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Kieran Hall out for his second full frame of work as the Aces lead 10-6. Ed Wyatt, Max Tanzer here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It has been an offensive show over the last 3 nights, and nothing has changed here this evening as the Aces have scored 10 runs for the 3rd consecutive game. Everyone enjoying getting on the scoreboard right there. They're fired up, as they should be. Aces will look for more here. 8-9-1. Mitchell Edwards will lead things off, the switch hitter. First pitch, he shows bunt again and drags it back to the mound. Hall will field and shuffle 1 away. Aces have dropped down a few bunts tonight.
Yeah.
Not afraid to put pressure on the defense here.
Got a little too much of that, made it pretty easy for Kieran Hall.
1 pitch, 1 out in a quick fashion. So you got to assume Kyle Morrison will come in for the 8th, and then, oh no, threw a season high over 40 pitches yesterday. So got to imagine he's unavailable.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Here's Belbin. He's had a good night. First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. He's driven in 2 runs, an RBI single in the 2nd. Forced in a run and a walk back in the 5th. Down low, counting it's up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Belbin spent the year in the Seattle Mariners organization. A lot of time complex league in Low A Modesto. 1-1 is driven high in the air out to center. Diaz scampering over, makes the catch. No problem with the win there. 1-2 away.
Yeah, he's the one guy I wouldn't worry about, wind or no wind, Diaz out there.
2 quick outs at that as we flip the lineup over now to Aaron Whitefield. He is 4 for 4 tonight. He's got, 9 hits in this series now?
There is still some contention whether that last inning was an error or a hit, so we have to wait for the official score on that. I think they scored it in error, which surprised me.
So I think he would be 3 for 4.
Yeah, I think so.
First pitch, strike called 0-1.
We can double check that after the game, obviously, when we go back and sort of correct our messy scorebooks.
I think they did rule it as a fielder's choice,
Or,
and then an E4 or an E9 on Bojarski, the right fielder. 0-1.
But either way, he'd be 3 for 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. To the count quickly on Whitefield. The pitch down low. 1-2 now. Not credited with an RBI as well because the error was ruled on that throw to the plate. Dale on deck if he can keep the line moving. Here's the set. And the 1-2. Fisted foul. Count still holds. All set. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball line, but the second baseman, Williams, snatches it off the clothesline to end the inning. He hit it on the button, but to no avail. Aces go down in order 1, 2, 3 here in the 7th. To the top of the 8th we go. It's 10-6 Melbourne.
OmniGraphics, your leaders in super wide format printing across Australia. With 2 full-scale production facilities in Queensland and Victoria, our centres are equipped to handle the most ambitious printing projects, backed by a dedicated team of over 70 full-time staff. We specialise in a wide range of print formats, from billboards and banners to retail and events. We deliver impactful solutions that stand out in any environment. Our commitment to excellence includes continuous investment in cutting-edge technology, ensuring precision, speed, and reliability. This allows us to tackle even the most complex printing requirements with ease. Dream, design, deliver. Partner with OmniGraphics for your next printing project.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. We got a new pitcher on the mound. I actually believe this isn't Kyle Morrison who is warming up. It's Billy Parsons instead. But before we introduce Drew to Billy, let's take a look at our play of the game brought to you by Aces Sporting Club. Let's go back to the second. Robbie Glendenning, when the wind was gusting out of the corner, keeps his hands inside it and sends a 3-run shot to cap scoring in what was a 6-run second inning against Young Woo Shin, who hadn't allowed a run over 3 starts entering tonight. Again, your play of the game brought to you by Aces Sporting Club, a premium golf course practice facility based in Altona, right here out of Melbourne. They host birthdays, engagements, key milestones, and more. For more info, visit acesportingclub.com.au. There's the Polaroid. Beautiful shot from Mitch Edwards. As you see everyone come filing in. Capped a 6-run inning by number 6's 3-run shot.
There he is. Patrolling right field these days. We're used to seeing him at shortstop, but of course we've got a shortstop in Jared Dale, a second baseman in Antonis Macias. Glendenning's playing well in right field. There you go. It's a team game, right?
It is. And Glendenning has been good out there, as
he has.
Mentioned. Billy Parsons into the game, pitched on Thursday. Tossed an inning, did allow 2 runs. This is interesting because it was Kyle Morrison warming up. First pitch on the way is driven deep left center field off the bat of Mateo. But Whitefield has it measured just in front of the track. 1 pitch, 1 out.
There we go. That's what we like. There's Whitey. No problem with that at all. Player of his ability.
For Parson, this will be his 5th outing of the year. Right-hander with a really lively fastball. Here's Anderson Delgado now. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Pitch. Out and away. No, called a strike, excuse me. 0-1.
You had the same reaction Delgado did.
I just saw the ball hop in the air. Here's the set and the 0-1. 0-2. We'll get back in action tomorrow as well. Sunday matinee on the airwaves at 12:50. 1 o'clock start time for the final game of this series. And if this score holds, the Aces would go for the 4-game sweep. Would match their total of wins against the Heat that they put up last year. Weak roller wide of first. Parson has to cover, and he will. The throw from Macias in time for the 4-1 putout.
Nice play by Parsons getting over there. That was a tricky one.
And Diesla was a little aggressive. I think maybe if he could do it again, he would have stayed. But either way, Parsons sticking with the PFB is doing his job.
He just reacts really quickly. Look at Parsons. That's great work from him.
Beautiful.
Carlos Colmenares next up for Perth.
Looks like Delgado thought maybe he
pulled his foot.
Yeah, or missed it.
No,
that's what's so deceptively difficult about that. Colmenares swings at the first pitch. Macias can't pick it cleanly. It's past him in the right. Probably will be an E4. And that'll extend the inning now for Jess Williams. Get another look. That's some top spin English.
That's a tough one.
Again, remember this is Macias' first year playing second base.
I think he was kind of caught between. It looked like it was going to be able to be caught as a line drive, and he sort of was caught in between.
I think that top spin kind of fooled him. Maybe thought it was going to stick up longer. Then by the time he realized it was trickling to the ground earlier than he thought, all he could do was try and pick it. So base runner reaches.
Colmenares' 3rd time tonight. Home run, single, and now reaching on an error.
An E4 on Macias. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fair few errors tonight, Max. 5 combined, 3 for Perth, 2 for the Aces.
It hasn't been the cleanest game. 1-1. 2-1, hence all the runs on the scoreboard. 16 runs, doesn't feel like a lot, though, after yesterday. That one was an 11-8 win. 16, I guess, pretty close to 19 all in all.
Into 11-8, 10-6.
2 1s down low, 3-1. Well, Perth all of a sudden has 4 outs to work with in this game. Aces bullpen has done a good job. 3 2/3 consecutive frames of scoreless baseball. Parsons looking to toss a scoreless inning for the first time in this series. 3-1. Sky down the left field line. It's out of play. Look at Jared Belvin swatting it away. 3-2.
No chance there. That's a good comeback from Parsons.
Well, Colmenares will get a head start over at first base here with 2 down. Payoff. Runner goes. Pitch is down low, ball 4. Williams draws the walk, and all of a sudden, after 2 quick outs, Perth rallying with first and second for the top of the order in Karokawa. First walk surrendered by Parsons.
And that's the thing, isn't it? The 2 quick outs and then the error and then now a walk. So suddenly you've got an inning alive when it potentially could have been ended.
Cameron Gibbons starting to warm up down the right field line. Not throwing, but just starting to get stretched. Edwards will head to the mound and have a meeting here with Parsons.
And psychologically, sometimes with pitchers, too, I think, Max, it looked like maybe they were going to get it out of the inning, and then suddenly it's an error. So it's a different mindset now. I got to walk the next guy, it can just kind of get away from you. So, and I think that's why Mitch Edwards went out and now Peter Moylan coming out. Just stay with it, Billy. You got the first two easily. You can do it again.
And in this game, we've seen innings go awry quite quickly.
Yeah, very true.
And this is one where you just need to shut down the bleeding as soon as you can.
And Perth have been really good about taking advantage of those little mistakes. The Aces have been too, but Perth in particular, when they're coming from behind, taking advantage of those little cracks the Aces leave open.
So 1-0 the count here on Fumiya Kirokawa. He's driven in 2 runs tonight, 5 over the previous 2 games as well. 1-0. Upstairs 2-0. Kidnelli on deck. If Kirokawa can reach, he would represent the tying run. Hitters count the 2-0. Inside 3-0, a close spot. Well, you got to fill up the zone here. We'll see if they give Kirokawa the green light, who's been a hot hitter as of late. Right over Broadway for a strike, 3-1.
He was taking all the way on that one. Probably a smart play, right? They need runs. You know, if you get a free pass, then you're still alive.
3-1 now. Strike called, perfectly placed, 3-2, and Kirokawa thought that may have been ball 4, but the Aces will take it. Both runners will be going 3-2 here with 2 down. Another look at that pitch.
Huge pitch right here.
Payoff. Fouled straight back.
Stays alive.
And another long at-bat drawn together here by a Perth hitter.
We've seen so many of those.
And a lot of times, too, when you're in a pressure spot, one pitch feels like 3 or 4 in terms of how much gas you have left in the tank. This will be pitch number 18 of the inning for Parsons. Runners go, the 3-2 again. And another foul ball. This one lined over the shed, out of play. Into the darkness, the abyss. Still 3-2.
Do it again.
Colmenares at second, reached on the air. Williams at first, he walked. Runners go, 3-2. Spoiled foul. Literally just swatted that out of the mid of Mitchell Edwards right there.
I told you about years ago, I can't remember when it was, where we had a foul ball sponsor.
Okay.
It would just be constantly, like tonight.
That would be the most expensive sponsorship.
You would lose your voice calling me. That foul ball brought to you by.
Who wants to sign up for that? I'm sure plenty. Inside move to second. They may have him, but the throw is in the dirt. Nice stop by Dale to pick it.
That was a really well executed play until the throw. Watch this. Watch Dale come in really quickly. Just if the throw were a little better, they might have had him.
On the other side of the bag. Trying to catch Colmenares off guard at second. 3-2 again is fouled away.
Oy, oy.
Watch out in the parking lot over there. Some Easter eggs over there now. Late on everything. We mentioned that fastball, not only firm, but it's got some carry. Now steps off. Parsons over 20 pitches as recently as Thursday. Had to throw a decent amount as well. Consecutive outings at 20 plus as Cameron Gibbons, as you can see on your screen, continues to heat up. Runners go, payoff. Popped up, left field line. The wind's going to blow it foul. Plot continues to thicken here.
Jeez. Oh, my goodness. Just par for the course for this series.
There is a sea of fans down there just peeking over the fence. Probably could find a basket of baseballs over there.
Just unbelievable stuff here.
Parsons set again. Runners will go the 3-2 again. Down and in, ball 4.
Oh.
Incredible plate appearance from Karokawa. Battling with 2 strikes. Draws the second consecutive walk. And the bases are loaded now for Tim Kennelly, tying run at the plate.
I can't believe you actually had to say that. Tying run at the plate.
Again, this inning started with 2 outs on just a handful of pitches. And then Colmenares reached on the eve for a walk to Williams and then a marathon of a plate appearance against Karokawa.
Oh, it's like we're watching a movie over and over and over again.
Kennelly 1 for 4 tonight. Big spot here for Parsons. First pitch, poured in for a strike,
really
0-1.
Nice.
Gets ahead here. Kennelly, 37 years old, has played in every year of Australian baseball since its inception over a decade ago. 0-1. Down low, smothered by Edwards. 1-1. Edwards has continued to do a really good job back there. They're essentially catching every inning almost this year for the Aces. Barely an exaggeration there. Colmenares at third, Williams at second, Karokawa at first. All with good speed. 1-1. Little looper. Leaping grab by Arturo Disla.
Are you kidding me?
Showing off the hops on a little flare that has been the nail in the coffin for the Aces all night long. This time finds the leather of Disla to strand the bases loaded. Take another look at the big man showing off the hops.
Oh, look at that vertical.
Talking about Shaq earlier, while Arturo doing his best impression. Inning over. Aces strand the bases loaded as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Aces lead by 4.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. All smiles in that dugout as we get another look at Arturo Disla. 2 outs in the inning. Little looper, and he reaches up to reel it in.
That is an unbelievable play to Rob Kennelly, who, by the way, is now turned 38. Birthday was Thursday.
Yes.
We've just been alerted thanks to the ever-knowledgeable Eric Balnar, always on top of things.
Thank you very much, Eric. So the Aces looking to add on some insurance before we head to the 9th is Disla and Bird. Maybe talking about that catch over there. A couple of first basemen. New pitcher of the mound for the second straight night for Perth will be Warwick Saupold, the former big leaguer. Came into the game in the tie game of the 8th yesterday and did surrender to the 3 runs after a couple of wild pitches. Looking for a different result here tonight. He'll get 2, 3, and 4 in the Aces lineup. Jared Dale will lead things off here for Melbourne. Dale having a good night. He's 1 for 4, drove in a run with a single to left in the 5th. First pitch is popped up, first base side. Delgado ranging into foul ground, looking for room. It's into the dugout, out of play.
It's a water bottle.
Did it?
No.
Wouldn't be surprised. We still don't know whose water bottle that is, by the way. I meant to look today if they still had it in there. I don't know if they do.
Yeah, there are some conspiracy theories around that water bottle. We won't go into them now in detail, but I do have it on good authority that there are some people claiming it's theirs.
The most controversial water bottle in ABL history.
Indeed.
How about that? Cameron Gibbons continues to warm up for Melbourne, by the way. Likely will try and close out the 9th.
Right.
1-1. Won't be a same situation up by 4, but with the way that this series has gone, it will feel like one.
It's so true.
1-1. Down low, 2-1.
This has been thoroughly enjoyable to watch in retrospective. During the game, it's just been so nerve-wracking at times.
2-1. Down and away, 3-1. Hitters count.
You think it's under control. It's not. It
No lead
changes.
safe.
No lead is safe.
Even last night when Ono came into the game, again, Ono is not allowed to run this year. He's been so good, gets so much whiff, but that one's outside ball 4. Dale will take the leadoff walk. He does struggle with his command at times and did walk a handful yesterday and did force the tying run to the plate, or I should say the go-ahead run to the plate. The tying run did reach bases. Perth stranded the bases loaded in a 3-run game. Here's Robbie Glendinning. First pitch. Breaking ball, a sharp one. Finds the front door, 0-1. Glendinning having a good night, having a good series, really. Homers in back-to-back nights as this one's hooked foul. 0-2, that was Karakawa territory right there.
That was a line shot.
Oh-2. Popped up, first base side again. Delgado ranging towards foul ground, adjusting back, and he makes the basket catch.
See, that one normally goes out, but because of the way the wind is tonight, that one stays in because it's down the right field, the first baseline.
So one away for Greg Bird, who's had a quiet night. He's 0 for 4. Couple of strikeouts, line to center, flew out to center.
Don't say that very often, do you?
And you do not. Entered tonight with a home run of this series. Handful of runs batted in, 2 yesterday, in fact. First pitch, down and in, 1-0.
So on an ordinary day here at the ballpark, the right field line that is normally one where the balls drift out of play. That one drifted back into play because of the way the swirling wind is tonight.
1-0. Fouled straight back. Count evens up at 1-1. That one got a piece of hull right there.
You didn't know that wind forecasting was going to be so important when you signed on with the Aces of the summer, did you, Max?
I did not know. It's like the fighter jets are flying around, just messing everything up.
It's equally as important as many of the stats that you will dig up.
Yeah, do we have the ballpark factors? Down low, 2-1.
It is one where, like I said, I've been coming here enough that as soon as I parked my car in the parking lot, the wind was just going nuts.
And you're like, oh no.
And and when I came out and watched batting practice, and you could just feel that it was a different kind of wind tonight.
It's outpulled set. 2-1. Check swing roller. It checks back fair. No, they're going to rule it foul. It got off the foot of Bird. 2-2. Emphatic call from Mizuguchi, the home plate umpire.
Hall not happy about it.
Let's get another look right here.
Yeah, there we go.
Off the kneecap.
Yep.
Back kneecap. So Bird stays alive. Time called. In the 9th inning for Perth, the meat of their lineup will be due up Diaz, Hall, and Boyarsky. They look for another comeback. 2-2, swing and a miss. Went out of the zone for the breaking ball.
Is that the meat of the lineup, or is the meat of the lineup Delgado, Colmenares, and Williams?
Yes, 7, 8, 9 has been money tonight for Perth. Bird down on strikes for the third time tonight. 2 down after the leadoff walk to Dale. Here's Arturo Disla, our vertical champion. He's had a fairly quiet night to his standards, and that still includes him reaching base 3 times. Down away ball 1. A double to left. He's walked twice. Also lined out sharply to right in his last at-bat back in the 6th.
I'm still ruminating on that play he made. I was convinced that was going to drop into right field and keep that inning going.
1-0. Swing and a miss, and he falls to the ground. Another vicious hack. 1-1.
He is box office, isn't he?
Let's check it out again. The ground rumbled on that swing. Oh.
He is so much fun to watch.
He makes contact, that ball's going 500. 1-1 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss, another big rip, 1-2.
Vapors.
Well, he's not getting cheated up there.
No, he's not.
I would love to see the swing speed metrics. Daryl George on deck if they can keep the line moving here. Dale at first after his leadoff walk. 1-2. Cue shot right back to the mound. Southpold will play it on the high hop, and a little foot race between him and Disla.
Yeah,
He flips
I'm
it
not sure
over.
what that was all about.
Taking his time, shortening it up, and flipping it over to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. A runner left for the Aces. We head to the top of the 9th. They're 3 outs away from their 3rd win in a row. We'll be back after this. Aces lead 10-6.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark. That, of course, is Cameron Gibbons. You've seen him before. Tall, the glasses, the crouch, the fastball. He's going to be brought in to try and close this thing out with the Aces hanging on to a 10-6 lead in the top of the 9th inning. Ed White, Max Tanzer with you tonight. It's been another crazy one from Melbourne Ballpark. Fans absolutely getting their money's worth in all 3 of these baseball games.
Absolutely, and the Aces looking to pick up what would be a series-winning W if they can pick up this win right here. 6'8" right-hander, and Cameron Gibbons looking to slam the door again. Not a technical save situation, but it feels like one with how tightly we played every single game. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 here in the Perth lineup. John Diaz will lead things off. Gibbons in for the 2nd time in this series, first time since Thursday night. That was an inning of work, scoreless inning. And he's been good this year here for Melbourne, aside from one outing. Well, here's Diaz. Righty on left to start things off. Here we go. First pitch. Just a little bit wide. 1-0.
This will be interesting for Gibbons because the strike zone, as I mentioned a couple times, is pretty small tonight. So he's going to have to come in and be very accurate.
1-0. Up and away ball 2. 2-0. I think the approach here, up by 4, just fill up the strike zone as much as you can. Got to be on the attack. 2-0 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, left fielded deep. Melbourne back towards the corner. This one is just foul.
Just to the left of that foul pole.
That looked like the Coleman Arizona
Oh, my word.
just a little bit ago.
Oh, my word.
Very similar spot to the Glendenning homer, too.
Sigh of relief there from the Aces.
Two one, swing and a miss.
There you
Explosive
go.
fastball
Yep.
evens up the count at 2-2. Crowd of just over 1,700 tonight here at Melbourne Ballpark. Eager to see a potential win here. Aces 3 outs away. 2-2. Ground ball to George at third. He gobbles it up, slings over, and it's not picked cleanly. Safe at first is Diaz. Maybe the first ball we haven't seen Diesla pick cleanly this year. Take another look. Second error charged to George tonight.
Yeah, throw was a little low. Looked like he had some, I don't know, there's something wasn't right about the way he fielded that again.
Kind of handcuffed him a little bit.
Yeah. Sixth error of the night combined for both teams.
Pitch of the way, popped up, left field line again from Alex Hall. It's out of play. It's been that type of game. Even yesterday with the amount of runs we saw scored, and it was a long game, 3.5 hours. We're just about 10 minutes away from hitting that mark tonight. There's been more free passes. There's been a lot of innings extended from plays that both sides would like back, and it really is on both sides of the ball. Again, if you're Perth, just trying to give yourself a chance with the tying run at the plate. 0-1. Breaking ball backs up. 1-1. So far tonight, the Aces have used Rutsky, who tossed an inning. Steve Kent was phenomenal through 3 scoreless innings, really providing a stopgap in the middle of this game. 1-1. Strike called, 1-2.
Yeah, Kent was great.
And then Billy Parsons came into the game to throw an inning. Got into some trouble, but was able to get out of it unscathed thanks to the theatrics of Arturo Diesla. And then Gibbons on here for the 9th. We did see Kyle Morrison warming up, but didn't end up coming into the game as that one is swung on a miss for strike 3. Hauled down on strikes, and an oh-so-important out number 1 here for Gibbons.
Wonder who we got tomorrow. I think is Morrison being saved for some work tomorrow, potentially?
Yes, I believe it is lined up to be, no confirmation, but it's lined up to be Kyosuke Saito.
Yep.
If the rotation remains the same. Righty on right for Gibbons. Here's Buyorski. First pitch is a breaking ball outside.
It's first night where he's cooled down, Buyorski.
He has. It seemed impossible to get him out earlier.
Yeah.
He did reach on the E5 at the second, but he's 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Did ground into a double play as well. Double play would cap the night here as the pitch is over to the outside corner. Strike 1. Wind continues to blow out towards left. Here's the set. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Late hack on another heater, 1-2.
Yeah, that's what Gibbons can do with that fastball.
Talked about it on Thursday night, but he's got so much extension with how tall he is and how long his arm is. He can get so far down the mound. 1-2 is sliced foul. Count will still hold it. Is being released 5 feet further almost, it feels like, than any other pitcher. So it has the perception that it's a couple miles an hour faster.
You had him and then throw John Kennedy in here, who was here for so long. Left-hander with that kind of height.
Now with Canberra.
Yeah, very scary.
1-2. Check swing roller going to be a tough play. George is charging and he'll put it in his pocket.
There's your hit for Buyorski.
An infield knock that barely leaves the cut of the infield grass. first and second with one out. And the ball really hasn't left the infield.
You're right.
In fact, it hasn't. Angel Mateo to the plate now, and if he could reach, tying runs on deck in Anderson Delgado. It's only fitting that this will come down to the wire. I'm out of my seat. I'm standing up. I'm ready to go.
If you end up saying the tying run is at the plate, I'm walking out of here. I'm gone.
The
you
tying
can finish
run
it on
could
your
be at
own.
the
I
plate.
know. I don't want it to be. I'm out of here.
Fastball's upstairs, 1-0. Ed's done for the night.
I'm going to join you and stand up.
Double play would end it, but Mateo does have good speed. 1-0 the count. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Running fastball tied him up. County Baton. Arms in the outfield for the Aces. Belbin, Whitefield, and Glendenning left to right. However, though, play that matters here is the hitter in Mateo. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Had him on a merry-go-round after that one, 1-2.
Now he comes back with a fastball. Blows it by him.
It's his bread and butter. "6'8" righty set. 1-2. Popped up. First base side. Bisla can't reach that one. Count still holds.
If he reached that one, then
the Elastigirl right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mateo 2 for 4 today. One, two again. Up and in. Fastball. Zooms in. Almost got him in the shoulder area. Still 2-2 now. A little bit of a restless buzz here at the ballpark.
Yeah, I just don't know what Perth's going to do, right? They've seen comebacks before.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the top shelf.
Huge.
2 away.
Huge.
Last hope here for Perth. Anderson Delgado. Again, his job just to reach is Carlos Colmenero is on deck. Would represent that tying run.
And you don't want him at the plate.
No, you do not.
You do not want Colmenero.
Ski tonight and in this entire series.
Yep.
Given set. First pitch. Inside. Look out. 1-0. Almost did the splits there. This will be pitch number 22 for Gibbons. Pitch. Swing and a foul straight back. County moves up at 1. Through 15 pitches on Thursday night. Inning started with Diaz, who reached on the E5. Hall struck out. Boyorski rolled out a single to third. And then Mateo just recently punched out swinging. Gibbons and out away. The 1-1. Breaking ball, a sharp one, bites the top of the zone, 1-2.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there. Beautiful pitch.
The Aces a strike away from their third consecutive win. Gibbons set. 1-2. Stairs, tried to elevate a little bit too high on that one, 2-2. Well, Deuce is running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 on here for Perth. Gibbons fires. Breaking ball down low, appeal to third. Field says he didn't go around, count now full. Well, it would be fitting that Perth works a walk after falling behind with 2 strikes. That's been their MO all night long.
It's very true.
Gibbons now approaching 30 pitches here in this inning. Runners will be going here with 2 down. Again, that's Diaz at second and Boyorski at first, both with plus speed. What matters the most here is that Delgado reaches. Runners take off the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball right side and through and a right, a base hit. They're going to wave around Diaz. The throw in will be cut off. A run in for Perth. They're not done yet. It's 10-7. Runners at the corners with 2 down. And Delgado would come to the plate, and he could tie it with 1 swing. Make that Colmenares. Delgado with the RBI single.
Not making it easy, are we? Oy.
So it's now a 3-run lead here for Melbourne, and Andy Kyle is going to call for a pinch runner for Delgado. Look at that. He's just going to switch up with his first base coach. A little incognito move right there. We'll get to you who that is in just a moment.
I think that was the late edition Josh Diggins that we saw the other night. We weren't sure who it was.
It is indeed. And Delgado will now stand in as the first base coach. First pitch to Colmenares is fouled straight back. That was beautiful. I don't know if I've seen that before.
Well, I think in the majors you probably wouldn't see it.
Ever. Even in my years as summer ball,
you know. A 55-year-old guy come out pinch run.
Andy Kyle pointed his finger, and I'm like, who's coming out of the dugout? Swing and a miss. Vicious breaking offering 0-2. Colmenares has had a night. He's reached base 3 times, homered in the second. Hit a 2-run single back in the 4th as well.
In a good spot now if you're Cameron Gibbons. So got to come with a pretty tricky pitch here.
0-2. Oh, foul. Look out, Delgado. Still 0-2. Colmenares with 3 homers on the season.
Thought that was going to make the door again down there, Matt.
Did they open it up?
They did, I think, but I'm not sure. I think it might have drifted to the side.
It's a tight one. Here's the 0-2 again. Up and in. Look out again. Buzzing the tower of Colmenares, 1-2. Oh. Tying right at the plate. Gibbons set. 1-2. Inside, and what a snag by Edwards behind the plate. Caught that behind him.
He's been so good in this series.
Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Look at that.
Keeps Boyorski at third base. 2-2. Inside, and did that hit him? It skips up the glove of Edwards. Gibbons isn't covering, and Boyorski will come around to score. Wild pitch. It's a 2-run game. I think what matters more is it being ball 3 than the run scoring. Again, all that matters is the hitter here.
No, it's a very, very good point. And it's gone from 0-2 to 3-2. It's just very tough scenario right here.
Overthrew that fastball club side a couple of times. Jess Williams on deck. That'll be the top of the order for Perth. 3-2. Swing, and it's popped up. This should do it. Dale behind the bag, calls everybody off and makes the catch. Ball game over.
It wasn't easy, but it happened.
It wasn't easy, but the Aces, for the 3rd straight night, pick up a double-digit victory. They clinch the Round 4 series win. They've won 3 in a row and moved back above 500 for the first time since Round 2. You can all take a deep breath and relax for the rest of your night. The Aces hold on to win it. Woo! Perth falls to 7-8. The Aces move to 7-6. Make sure to stay tuned for, hopefully we'll get a post-game interview. But Ed, let's break this one down. I mean, the runs aplenty once again. It was a matter of, I think, Steve Kent really being the dark horse in this game. providing a gap or the bridging the gap between the middle innings to allow the Aces to build that lead back.
Yeah, really important. I was just looking at 4 pitchers used by Perth, 5 pitchers used by the Aces, 6 errors total, 3 errors for each team. So, as you mentioned earlier, Max, a sloppy game in many ways, but a super competitive game and a fun game for the fans, and just another crazy, goofy, high-scoring baseball game.
It was indeed. The Aces have now scored 31 runs in this series, and they've notched 43 hits.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
9 homers as well. I mean, if you look at the Perth side of things, they've been phenomenal on top of that, too.
Absolutely right.
Well, we'll get back on the air tomorrow, Sunday afternoon matinee, as we wrap up this 4-game series. The Aces will be looking for their first sweep of the season. Let's take you through the game. We go all the way back to days ago, it feels like,
how
the
light
second
it is.
inning. Yeah, right? What's that, the sun? Mitchell Edwards got things started with an RBI double, and then an errant relay throw allows Daryl George to score all the way from first base. Again, that Mitchell Edwards double, who had another multi-hit game, pushed the Aces up 2-0 early, and they weren't done yet. This was the start of a really big inning, Ad. Take a look at Daryl George scoring on, and then an errant relay throw. Later in the inning, though, it would be Jared Belbin who would step to the plate. Belbin didn't get the start yesterday, but picked up a big hit late in the game.
Huge hit.
Which was absolutely pivotal. He would end up scoring the game's go-ahead run on a wild pitch in the 8th inning yesterday. And he would then come to the plate today, looking to add on to what's a 2-0 lead for the Aces, with a runner at third base after the ball was flung around everywhere, as we get a look at the boys celebrating in the first base. Nothing leading to the inning as you see Mitchell Edwards come around to score. Aaron Whitefield then looking to keep the line moving, and John Diaz can't make that catch. Picks it cleanly, though. You give him that. A single for Aaron Whitefield, who also picked up another multi-hit game, and that set things up for Robbie Glendinning, who sends one deep for the second straight night.
How about that? Just keep an eye on him here. He knows it's gone.
300 feet down that short left field line. The wind was gusting out there, and all you got to do is elevate in this case, and he sends it deep for his second homer of the year. A 3-run shot this time after a solo shot last night to break the deadlock in the middle of Friday's game.
Yeah, it's good. Robbie had a bit of a slow start in that first game. To see him come alive in these last 2 is really great stuff.
Absolutely. Again, we're planning to join with Jared Belbin as our player of the game and talk to him about a really big win. We go later into this game in Perth, able to chip away on a chip shot from Alex Hall right here that drops in for a 2-run base hit. That was when Perth was able to cut the deficit to 6-3. And you know, with Perth in this series, they do not go away quietly. That has been the story all series long. Well, we're now joined on the field here with our player of the game, Jared Belbin. Jared, a couple of big knocks for you here today. Runs have been aplenty in this series. What's been working for you guys offensively this weekend?
We're going to get this fixed technically. I think we got an issue with the mic here. Let's see if that gets fixed. We can do that. Happens to the best of us.
Well, again, let's go over Jared Belbin's line so far today. Gets the start today in left field. 1 for 3. Drove in a couple of runs on top of that as well. First start of the weekend, came on with a big pinch hit, base hit yesterday as well. Again, still going through our technical difficulties here. So maybe we'll go back to our game recap. Again, the Aces win this one 10-8 tonight. pick up their third consecutive win, clinch the series win here against the Perth Heat. And Ed, vibes are rolling good after now a chance to go for the sweep tomorrow.
Vibes are working better than our microphones at the moment here. I think we may have gotten it fixed. Let's have a look, Matt.
All right, hopefully second time's a charm. Can you hear us down there, Jared? Does not look like it's working. All right, well, we'll try tomorrow, Jared. Well, thank you very much, Jared Belbin. Our player of the game picked up a couple of big RBIs here tonight as the Aces win it by a final score of 10-8. Well, Ed, what a ball game. Unfortunately, some technical difficulties, but maybe we'll get Jared tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to make it up to him. Maybe you can chat with him prior to the game or something like that. We'll get him on here. But a remarkable performance by the Aces, and I think you look at it, as we talked about, physically with the hits and the runs, mentally with the bounce back from a really poor road trip. John Diebel himself saying as bad as the Aces have ever played against Sydney. This is just joyous to watch if you're an Aces fan.
10 runs on Thursday night, 11 runs on Friday night, and 10 runs tonight. But, hey, it's been tight ball games the last couple of evenings. Again, the Aces moved to 7-6 on the year. They've won 3 in a row. Perth falls to 7-8. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow, 1 o'clock first pitch for the final game of this 4-game series. We'll be on the air at about 12:50. Going to be a good one. The Aces and the Heat continue after this. For our Sportscast Australia crew, we thank you so much. For Ed White, I'm Max Tanzer. Have a great rest of your evening. Aces win it 10-8.